What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. You already know I'm back in the building, not alone. It's TRU Talks. Cause TRU Talks, you already know. Let's get straight right into it. So if y'all been following, y'all been paying attention, I've been doing these episodes, my podcast episode. Obviously, we're episode 4? Savon, I'm joking. Wife, episode 4. Yeah, wife's in the background, you already know. Episode 4 we got. And definitely, you know, I appreciate all y'all support. I appreciate everybody. Like I said all the time, share, like, and subscribe. You already know. Donate to the Patreon link, the PayPal link as well. We have special guests here. So thank you again for all the listeners, you know, listening on Anchor, all the listeners listening on Spotify, and the YouTube viewership as well. But I got two fellas over here joining me today. Special guests, you already know. Yes, on TRU Talks. Yes, so it's even more truer talks. You feel me? You already know. So I got my boy to my left right here, my boy Daniel. He's one of my best friends. You know, he's been the best man at my wedding. If y'all know me, you know. You already know. And then also as well, my salty brother to the far left. The shit black, that's him. The dark son, call him Tyrese, the one and only. You get what I'm saying? He wasn't the best man, so he was salty. Jeez. But he's the best brother right now. You already know. So he's on the left. His name is Noah. I'm gonna also add the links and everything to their profiles below. You already know. It might come on the screen. You might not. I don't know. We'll see. But it's Daniel. That's Noah. You already know. Let's get straight right into it. This is our first episode having guests. You know, we're just gonna bounce off each other. You know, we're in for a journey, an audio journey. Pause. But you know what I mean? An audio journey. So we definitely gonna get straight right into it. So first thing we have on the docket here is, obviously y'all been paying attention. I went ham. If you haven't seen it, go check the last video that I just had. You already know it's definitely a good listen. And that's with the NBA and the Black Lives Matter and all those things that's been happening. The decision not to be or to be. You already know. Which one we're going to do? Resume the season or should we not? So that's the kind of climate we're in. Now I'm going to ask my fellows here to give different insights, give different IQs. That's what we do. We change it up. You feel me? And we're going to give different insights. And, we're just going to go ham and just basically bounce off each other. Pause again. So definitely, I'm going to ask y'all, with the NBA resuming and the Black Lives Matter, obviously, we know that it's been an issue in society today. The climate has definitely risen. We got more awareness with what's going on, especially what happened to George Floyd. Right now, we're in a different historic time that we're at right now with the most awareness we ever had with the BLM. So the question I have for you guys is, should we resume the season? That's the LeBron take. Just play, shut up and dribble, or use it as a platform. Or we got the other take, which is the Kyrie take, which is don't resume the season, boycott the season, hit them with the money. Hit them where it hurts. All right, let's get straight right into it. Just let me know what you think, fellas. Tell me. Let me know, man.
Well, for me personally, I feel that it's hard to pick between the two because I was on one side of the fence way before. I was like, man, we should not resume the season at all or even play or anything like that. But then afterwards, after I took in other advice from the other side, that how they feel, I do feel that there is a compromise that you can find in between. Okay. What I would say is, I heard this from Rachel on The Jump. One of the things that she said was that they could get lawyers, and how FedEx and all those delivery places said they don't want to deliver to towns or cities that don't have police officers. They could implement the same thing, that they don't want to have to be in NBA towns or cities that don't implement these certain rules that they want, or they're not going to have an NBA team.
Oh, wow.
So They said you could actually have that because it's your service, right? So if you're not protected and you don't feel protected, that we don't have this much security, this much restraint away from fans or these people, or and all these type of things that you could have, or the health awareness is not there between these types of cities, if it's not consistent, because every player knows it's different. They know they get different hotel rooms wherever city you're in. Yeah. That's why they love Toronto. Toronto always puts them in the nice one, the St. Regis and everything. Yeah. But they know that they get different treatment depending on where you are. Right? So a big thing is that they wanted to make sure that no matter where they go, that they get the same treatment universally wherever they go. And as well, what I feel on the boycott end is because I've been seeing these owners, they're silent.
You already know. Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah, man. But at the same time, right? For me, I would rather you be silent if you don't believe in something.
But how do you not believe when you made billions from these men?
It doesn't matter.
That don't mean they believe.
This is my point.
That's the problem.
My point is this, though, right? I would rather, if you actually don't believe in something, that you not say anything. Then all these people, all of a sudden, now they care about Black Lives Matter. Not because they actually care, but just because it's the popular opinion to have.
Of course.
Right? So that being stated, I can understand why NBA players might have the reaction that says you don't care. Well, we can make you care, right? But I can also understand the other side of the coin, which says that the best way for people to hear our voices is for us to be in front of the public eye, which means that obviously we have to be playing. Because if we're not playing, we're not in the public eye. We're not getting the same interviews that we're getting. And so obviously when we speak on things, although our closest friends to us that have our Twitters and whatever the case might hear what we're saying, but it's not going to be at the same level or the same scale as LeBron post-game interview, mentioning George Floyd or mentioning the different disparities that's happening. But
that's what I'm saying. Even with that too, is that as much as what he's saying, let's say he said an amazing speech, LeBron or any of these guys, but then it was a close classic game. Which one would be aired more?
Exactly. What are we going to be talking about?
But it's still a part of the game. That's the whole point.
But where would it? Would it be a footnote? But
look, if you look at what happened with Colin Kaepernick, that shows you that regardless of the quality of the game, if there's a protest, the attention is still going to be on the protest because at the end of the day, it generates traffic. It causes controversy. Yeah, people want to see controversy. It increases interest.
But then it changed. It changed the narrative from the actual sports. Because now they started saying, which one is kneeling? Which one is kneeling? Why is that player not kneeling? Why is he kneeling?
I know, and that helps actually to give attention to what they're kneeling about.
But it doesn't, because in a sense, if it's the vehicle is still the sport, now you have ruined the sport because there's no more team camaraderie.
You haven't ruined the sport.
Yeah, you have, because now locker rooms are torn now.
No, I feel you.
Men's are torn now because they're just you didn't stand with me. For instance, I'm not going to take a hit for you no more.
Look at it like this. I get what he's saying. He's saying it gives you awareness. It gives you a platform. You're aware, now that you have the games at its highest level in competition, you speak, and then it's like, okay, mans are listening. But do we really need any more awareness? What do we need awareness about? When the awareness, man, take it in. Cap, kneel. Did he get this amount of rapport? Did he get this amount of awareness with him kneeling? We've got more than what Cap has tried to give us with George Floyd happening. Man's the BLM statements. People you thought will never do it has done it. Not only that, you have also people did a whole kind of forgive me.
No, it's Roadrunner. It's a Roadrunner. You know what I mean? You gotta mix it up.
Roadrunner.
So yeah, but
the worst ringer.
Basically, you had people do a blackout, right? They've done all of that type of stuff. We have the most awareness we've actually had. So do we really need any more awareness? Because the thing is, that's been the cycle. Awareness. Eventually, the game takes over. Because if we do your approach and LeBron is speaking, how many games and how many things can he actually say for till October that is going to make maybe the first week might be intense. And then after that, what?
But this is the thing, right? The whole point that I'm getting at is I think that Adam Silver took the correct position, which is to say, if you want to play, play. If you don't want to play, don't play. When we're talking about the whole Black Lives Matter as a movement, obviously their movement is going to be more effective the more united they are on their approach to the movement. And I think that we can all agree that it's past the point of just putting, Blackout Tuesday or putting on I Can't Breathe t-shirts, right? Which goes to what you're saying about actually trying to find ways to have policies changed, right? To have actual change, put pressure for actual change on specific targeted things, right? Because what's been happening so far, at least what I've seen, and I want to be fair to the NBA players, right? What I've seen so far is just them saying that they don't want to play, but I haven't seen the action plan on the things that they want to see so that they would play, right?
No, well, Bradley has said, basically behind the scenes was come out, so I didn't explain that. It's basically Bradley and Kyrie and a lot of them have been saying, we're not going to play unless we see a plan of action from the NBA to help in certain matters, I guess, they're cautious about or they're worried about or they want to see change, right? So that's what they're waiting on right now. So the NBA, I guess, is in a situation where they're on both sides. They don't know how much they could do. They don't know, you know what I mean, if they could actually appease to the players or do what they want. So that's why it's like, okay, I get if you don't want to play, here, take this route. Or if you want to play, take this route. Now, the byproduct of that, we don't know. Because if you have all the elites not playing,
but clearly
is
LeBron said that he wants to play.
Yeah.
Giannis said that he wants to play. To me, whoever's here to play, let's play.
But do you think if there's some people that are playing in fear of not getting blackballed, like Cap?
Louder, can't hear you.
So you said, could you
say that again? Repeat
that?
What will you say?
I said, like, some people may want to sit out, but because they're scared that if they don't follow LeBron and play, they can end up getting blackballed, or that the dynamics may change.
And that links exactly to Pat Bev. What Pat Bev was saying.
That's the risk that you see, and this is the thing, right? I can't say that I want to stand for a movement if I'm not willing to die for the movement, right? Because at the end of the day, you're taking money out of somebody's pocket. So if somebody has to come up from the G League and he ends up being 10 times better than you, then that's just the sword that you had to fall on for the cause that you said that you believed in. You can't now say, I can't say, okay, I'm not going to play, but I'm mad at you for playing, which allowed this guy from Europe to come and play, and he shows himself to be 10 times better than me. And so now when I'm ready to play, they're like, we don't need you. That's my fault. That wouldn't have happened if I didn't choose to play. So don't be mad about that. Go play in Europe instead. You understand what I'm saying?
But
no,
I get what you're saying.
But the whole point is, if you're going to make a stand for something, if you're saying this is so important to you, then you have to be willing to lose your job for the stand that you're going to take. Because essentially that's what they're saying.
But the context of this stand now is that we've seen Cap do it already and not work. So if I'm going to do something without the backing of a lot of people, what's the point of me doing it? It's not going to work. Yeah. So it's not really taking a stand. It's just a no IQ sacrifice, which is what a lot of these players are cheese, because it's like, we have a moment now where we could Kyrie, Katie, Melo, LeBron. If every man goes, especially we already stopped because of coronavirus. Before, you're kind of just stopping out of the blue. Coronavirus has stopped. They seen we need your money. Jeez, we need the money. Now you can actually stop their money again when they need you the most by saying, no, we're not playing unless this fixed, because you're already not playing. So now if I now not play, but then LeBron, everyone else is playing, that's why Pat Bev said, no matter what, if LeBron says we playing, no matter how much we talk, we're probably going to have to play, because who's going to really say, yo, LeBron's not playing, I'm going to be the only guy like Kyrie, I'm not playing. Well, he's already injured, but like, let's say Bradley, I'm not going to play. What's the point of me not playing if the whole purpose of me not playing was to make a general movement to change everything? If I'm just individually not going to do it and there's 5 of us, there's no point. Because it's the same cycle. It's just we're just more caps. That's basically what it is. So it's a tough one.
I hear you, but at the end of the day, that's where the unity comes in, right?
Exactly. Like, that's why you're mad.
Ultimately, you still have to make a decision for yourself. If you really feel like, you know what, this is something that's wrong for us to play is wrong because it's going to take away attention. If now I say, well, everybody else is going to play, so I'm just going to play anyways because me not playing isn't going to have any effect, then clearly that means I didn't really believe in what I was talking about, right? If you're really a man, you have to be willing to stand alone.
But how about, okay, devil's advocate. How about the people like the LeBrons and the people on the other side? Because they're not just guys who are just shutting up and dribble. They've been talking about they don't agree with all of this. So the fact that you're willing to play, what does that tell you about you? Do you really believe in what you're saying? That's the other side.
Yeah, because they're saying that we can do both.
Especially when he demonstrated he sold out.
Exactly.
On time.
But they're saying that
right?
They're saying that
fans are forgetting about that.
They're saying that we can do both. They're
but
saying
they
that
already been doing both.
But he had both earlier this season. And
yeah,
he said,
but regardless,
and he plead the fifth.
But that's somebody's personal belief. If I personally believe that I can do both, then why should I stop playing? But why should I? I don't have to agree with you in your approach.
Because if you really, that's what I'm saying. Just like you said, if you really believe what you believe, you want this success rate or this succession to happen. If it doesn't happen, you're mad or you're uproar. So on LeBron's end, he knows. For instance, to prove what your point, if he just said, you know what I believe, then at the end of the day, he would never speak about George Floyd and all these things happening because he believes and he's been talking about it. But the fact that it keeps happening, he's been getting mad, more angrier. When is going to be the point where you actually act? Or do you really believe? Or are you just talking?
That's the reason why, or I shouldn't say the reason why, but at least one of the reasons why there hasn't been change is because people have been crying for change but they haven't been specific with what it is, with what change it is that they're looking for. So what Avery Bradley said in terms of giving actual conditions for the NBA for how they would resume is perfect, right? Because when you give conditions, at least there's a goal of something that will change if they actually agree to the terms of your strike and your petition, right? So for the individuals that are playing too, if they were to do that as well, if they were to find something specific that they're saying, you know what I mean? We want to see this or we want to see that. Then obviously you can still be able to do it that way, right? But people are just saying Black Lives Matter and they're saying I can't breathe, but they're not saying what it is that they want to see as a result of what they're doing. Because there has been changes have come, but that it doesn't mean that those changes have been satisfactory for the individuals that are obviously that are in the community that are seeing what's happening.
But that's why I say too as well. All the owners should not be on the players.
That's true. Because they're only so much they can do.
They are a partnership. They are as well being affected. There's owners, and these owners, basketball is not their only business. Mm-hmm. They didn't become billionaires out of nowhere. They have other companies. They have other bankrolls, other things that they have. So they should have more of a care for it instead of just the high-end athletes that I just have this side of my bankroll for. But they all have other companies that they have people that don't make as much money that they still oversee as well. Mm. So since they have more of employees, they should have some more reform or some ideas or suggestions or policies from older companies that they've had.
That's true. That's true.
So what do you? So what is the consensus then? Or I guess we're not trying to come to a consensus per se, but
for me, my general point and my general thing was kind of like, you know what? I feel that at the end of the day, when it comes to the whole LeBron stance playing or the whole Kyrie stance playing, I'm more on side with the Kyrie stance because you get to a point where enough is enough. If you're really about the action, if you're really about the tweets, if you're really about all of that things, you know that basically there's levels. You know, awareness is the first level. All these other statements they've been trying to make before were just to bring awareness that I can't breathe, all of this type of stuff. With all those you doing that, you've never got to this plateau that we've actually got to, which is now. This awareness is so reckless that literally that's all they're talking about. People saying I need a platform to the NBA needs a platform. What bigger platform do you need when look at right now, KD and Kyrie are fighting about this. That's all they talk about. And if you have a game and you have this to talk about, how long are they going to spend on Kyrie versus LeBron with all of these things? You don't need another platform. The awareness is here. That's what Bradley has been saying. The awareness is here. Now we need actual change. The actual change, or for them to even look at thinking of changing. Because even then, a lot of people, there's been Beyonce's, there's been Jay-Z's, all those people high up there, been sending letters. I want more CEOs of color. I want more. They've been doing that and putting notes and all of those type of things, trying to force change. But for them to actually do, if you go look at their employee board, it's still white. The only way for them to actually hear us and actually apply changes, hit the money, because they don't care about it. The fact that they're killing us shows they don't care about us. You're actually killing people. So you don't never care about black people, but you care about your money. So let's go into your realm. Let me cut off your money. Now you care about me.
That's my
kind of logic. Because for me, we talk about application.
So you're saying that
let me in the room. Resume. I'm saying they shouldn't resume because if I cut off your money, now you have to hear me. If I'm playing and I tell you do X, Y, and Z, are you really going to apply it if you're getting more money? You're getting a common economic boost within this coronavirus time. Trump, one of the most racist men, has said we need the season to resume.
Yeah.
The man said no one could come in the country. What did he do? Luka, all you foreign-born players, y'all can come now. We need the money. Yeah. If you hit them at the money, it's now you gotta hear me. It's an uppercut.
Yeah.
And that's what I always felt is that there's two things that the United States, the hierarchy, cares about. And that's power and money. Yeah, those are two things. Anything else that you try to bring human relations, human this, anything, they don't care about it because they're desensitized to it and it's so far away from their day-to-day life. If they want something, if they tell you, I'm in New York right now and I want an omelet from Los Angeles to come on a private jet, it will come. You know what I'm saying? When you're that desensitized to reality, then you don't care about those things because it doesn't affect your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But when it affects your power, when your bank account starts going doop, 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 starts dropping, your stocks start going down, then you're like, okay, let me find out what's going on here.
Exactly.
That's the only time when CEOs drop. CEOs don't drop when the storm starts coming. Mm-hmm. They drop once they start seeing their stock go down. Like, no, we gotta remove this guy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
and it's immediate.
No, I would say
immediate resignations.
I would say in kind of in harmony with what you guys are saying, that obviously more will be accomplished if they use their leverage and they don't play. But I think it's always important to give people that freedom to choose how they want to act. So I don't want to force people to make a decision. I think everybody can choose for themselves.
All right. So basically now we have the part where it's Kyrie saying, again, like we said, we don't want the season. But then you have Perkins going at him the whole time saying Kyrie's not a distraction. And this has been my issue. It's a deeper issue where I have man's going out at Kyrie basically because of, you already know his association to LeBron and all that type of stuff. But that's a different issue. But KD defended Kyrie because Perkins was going ham at Kyrie, and then he called him a sellout. He wrote on the Instagram, said he's a sellout, right? So then based off that, I'm gonna get your guys' opinions on what you think, if KD's in the wrong or you think Perkins is in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that. Before we go into that, let me hear what Perkins' response is to KD, because he talked about this on ESPN. So let's listen to that real quick.
You refer to Kyrie Irving as a distraction after you a sellout.
KD, my brother. Just because I don't agree with what Kyrie got going on, don't mean I'm not fighting the same fight that you all are fighting. I am fighting for African Americans. I've been have, and that don't make you a sellout. That don't make me a sellout because I have a different opinion or disagree with someone else that's going about it another way. I actually applaud anybody that's fighting a fight right now in America. So that's first thing first. Second of all, listen here. You don't know what I'm going through right now in my personal life fighting a fight. I live in $1 million community. I'm fighting a fight every day in my own community. I'm the only African American family that live in this community, and my wife and I have to fight a fight with our home association and neighbors every day through email. So much that we're not even comfortable with having our kids go outside without supervision. You don't know what I'm going through for us fighting a fight when I have to drive my oldest son to middle school to go to his workouts, and I pull up and there's 70 kids out there, and there's only
we got the point. All right, so basically,
this guy's talking nonsense, man. Because first of all, how do you say? I don't know if you guys heard him say, right? Yeah. But the man literally said that he applauds, which means that he claps. He celebrates. Okay? He celebrates anybody. A universal term. Anybody who stands up for these kinds of issues. Sir, where is the applause for Kyrie?
Let him know.
Is Kyrie not trying to fight this fight that you're saying that you applaud? So then how are you applauding by saying that he's becoming a distraction? You're discouraging.
It's crazy.
You're discouraging somebody who's trying to stand up for black people. So why would you think somebody wouldn't call you a sellout?
Makes no sense. You actually said he's only not going because the Nets said he can't play. Like the man went at
and this is the part where I want to give context to that, because I see the media's
context. Let him know.
The media, what they've labeled out here for Kyrie is that he came to this resolution once he realized he wasn't allowed to come to Orlando.
Yeah, I heard that.
So for that, what people are not realizing is that he asked why he's not, and they gave him a confirmation. They said he's too much of a risk to get the coronavirus. So if I am too much of a risk who's not playing, why the hell would my teammates that are playing not be a risk as well? That doesn't make no sense. Which is they're not playing that narrative as well. Because I would be off the rip just say, yo, no man should play. If you could tell me being a bystander standing there, I'm a risk, but then my teammates that are out there sweating, contacting next men are not a risk, this does not add up.
Facts.
And I would not let my boys go out there to battle. That doesn't make no sense.
Facts.
I think listening to Perkins to me, like,
PR. Someone told him, give that sob story. You already know.
Because the struggles that he says he's going through sound privileged.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm a black man in a gated community. My kid goes to clearly probably a private school.
Yeah, the man said he had there were 700 kids and there's only 2 black kids there.
What do you think? You're in a privileged
Yeah, you're not in your home community. You still made it. You made it. You're there.
Sounds economic to me.
So how you even mad at Kyrie? He's literally contradicting himself in his response.
Right. And the thing is, what I've noticed is, and no disrespect to Kyrie, I'm not trying to say this to be insulting, right? But Kyrie has become low-hanging fruit for the media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's somebody who, regardless what negative thing you have to say about him, ever since he said that he didn't want to play with LeBron, and then secondly, ever since he said that the earth was flat. These two things, since these two things, I have not heard anybody say any positive thing about Kyrie, especially in comparison to how much negative things they have to say about Kyrie. So now when Kyrie is the one who's leading a charge, just because somebody has a difference in opinion than you, a difference in approach than you, doesn't mean that you should completely put them down by saying that they're being a distraction. Right? So what Perkins is doing is wrong. That's wrong. You don't do that to people. The man is trying to stand up for something that he believes in. As a man, when you see somebody trying to make a stand for something that they believe in, especially when you see the injustice, even if what they're doing doesn't make sense to you, the simple fact that they're trying to make a stand for something that's right, that's just, why would you hate on him for that?
No sense. Makes no sense.
Kyrie's been like that deep thinker.
That's him.
Kyrie.
But they just painting him bad. We already know. They paint look at the case they paint bad. Kawhi, they paint bad with his load management. The nigga been load managing. Now you paint him bad. Why? He didn't go with LeBron, went to LA, and went to the other guy. Right? Now load management is bad. He barely plays. Look at KD. Automatic threat to LeBron this whole time. They paint him bad. Now look at Kyrie. He left the first man to say, I don't want to play with you, LeBron. I don't like it here. You just go for stats. They paint him bad. And it's forever. Not one of those 3 guys anymore is a positive thing. And what did he expose Perkins? This is another part that Skip Bayless showed that he exposed. He exposed that at the end of the day, what did he do? He showed his pictures from playing AAU with LeBron.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised LeBron don't have you on the payroll. So now you actually just gave us light. You gave us and you enlightened us to why you go ham on these specific guys. The fact that Kyrie, did he go ham at Bradley? Bradley's doing the same thing. Did he say Bradley? Did he mention Bradley? I didn't see him mention Pat Bev. I didn't see him mention Lou Will. But why are you saying Kyrie's a distraction? He's this. Is he the only one? It's literally Kyrie, Pat, and Bradley. CP3's there. Melo's there. I didn't hear him say one of those guys' name. They're all part of the charge. If anything, you should be getting at LeBron. Why your banana boat brothers on Kyrie's side and you're not?
Not only that, his own teammate, Dwight.
Exactly.
Howard.
Your own teammate, Dwight. Exactly.
No, but this is the difference, right? It's easy right? What I see with Perkins is he's trying to build up his brand.
Yeah.
He's trying to build up his name, right?
Yeah.
So he goes on all the sports talk shows, right? He goes on First Take. He goes on The Jump. He goes on Undisputed.
Yeah.
Right? And he formulates relationships with the people who are successful so that now when he does something like this, people don't want to be overly critical of somebody that they've sat next to, that they got to know, that they got buddy with, right? So they're not going to be as critical because obviously they're biased, right? The same way, I'm going to be real with you. If Perkins was my boy, I would not be talking the same way right now, right? Which is hypocritical, but it's just a fact, right? Yeah. If somebody's your friend, obviously, especially in public, you're not going to speak down on them, right? So as what you're saying, not only is he trying to piggyback off of LeBron because LeBron is arguably the biggest superstar in the NBA. As a matter of fact, he is the biggest superstar in the NBA. But if you think about just being
it's not even close.
Right? He is the biggest superstar in the NBA, who Perkins so happened to be friends with. So it's easy for him to piggyback off of that and go against anybody who's against LeBron, right? Especially Kyrie, because it doesn't get any easier. You won't have any more support than saying something against Kyrie, right?
The LeBron fans is reckless. You already know.
Kyrie, What did Kyrie do? This one I can't stand. Like, what did he do?
Nothing.
That was so bad.
Nothing.
All the man
Nothing.
said is, yo, I want to do this on my own. Did not Kobe do that?
Right?
He said, I want to do this on my own. I want to prove myself. I want to prove to
Master
people that
my
I can do
craft.
this myself.
Mhm.
And now you're saying that whenever he goes on a team, the team gets
No
hurt,
leadership. No leadership. No leadership.
right?
That's all
no
they say.
leadership, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Why
Now,
do they bring that
mind
up?
when I see the stuff, when I hear the stuff that they say, like that he does, I wouldn't do it that way, right? Like I wouldn't go weeks without talking to people, and then all of a sudden next week I want to say, yo, what up? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you saw me yesterday. There was no yo, what up? Like, you know what I mean?
But how could you even believe that's media too? You don't
but at
even
the
know.
same time,
I get your point.
Every man is different.
Grandpa died too.
Every man is different. And at the end of the day, how can you say that this man is not a winner? How can you say
Like
this
the
man is... Did we not see?
They don't see. LeBron averaged 29, Kyrie averaged 27. What are we talking about?
Bro.
And got the game winners. Like what?
Dog, you saw that shot, fam?
The game winners of all game
buckets.
winners.
In the finals?
Game
Buckets. 7. On Clay, on Curry, on everybody.
All moments are not created alike. Okay? Steph has been my favorite player from since I don't even know how long, until Kawhi replaced him. Right? But I have to say, Steph, when the lights are the brightest, when we need you the most.
He is the slightest. Come on now. You already know. Tell him.
You know what? I can't do this because you're my guy. Steph is my guy. I'm not gonna do this, man. Steph is my guy, man.
He went to his
That's
side.
my guy, man. I
He
can't
went
do
in
this.
his head.
So that's perfect segue. So okay, perfect. So now that we talked about the serious talk, now let's get into the shit. So let's get into the shits. Basically, you already know that's perfect segue of that whole moments are created different. When you're the one, Steph, you see him how he's averaging 28 when KD's there. You seen him get in the buckets. But when he's not there, who do we beat? Right? So now now we go to all of a sudden, you already know how Raptors fans be. Oh my God, Pascal. Like he wasn't on the same court with Kawhi. They want to bring up everything he's done with Kawhi. Yes, we get he put in work, but now he's by himself. Forget that shit. He's by himself. So now we have the argument. A lot of people are talking about the Celtics, Jason Tatum versus Pascal. Who is LA? Oh, what did Jason Tatum do? You know, obviously Pascal, he won a ring. He did this, even though it's the second option. It wasn't a 1A, 1B. He was the second option. And sometimes he even wasn't that. In the clutch, they didn't even go. When did the draw play for Pascal in the clutch? When?
He did have that one play though that.
Do the Euro on Draymond? We just watched it back today. It was an action.
That was not
know.
known.
I know it was not known.
I'm gonna give you the ball. Go to work.
Exactly. Go to work. Exactly.
Show me who you are.
Exactly.
That was not that. That was. I'm coming off of the screen. Oh, you cut me in motion.
Exactly. Draymond reach. Euro react.
That's different, bro.
React,
Anybody
paint
can do
tape.
that, bro. Well,
that
not anybody. But any good role player, that's what you're
Yeah,
supposed
you're gonna
to
do that. So now what do y'all think of Pascal Siakam in this new role versus Tatum in this emerging new role as well? Who is who? And even just Pascal alone.
What do you
can talk about him.
What do you mean Pascal Siakam?
Pascal Siakam versus Tatum. A lot of people are arguing who was the better player. That's what they're arguing. A lot of people are arguing. He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "What do you mean?" Because it's supposed to be a conversation.
I want to hear what Noah has to say about this. I want to hear.
You already know what I have to say.
Yo, if you talk foolishness,
listen. What I gotta say here for him is that he is lucky. Okay. Nick Nurse, top 5 coach in the NBA. Period.
You give him top 5?
Top 5. There's no question.
Honestly, my ratings.
Top 5.
Kawhi, Nurse is underrated, but him and Kawhi had to live in the most pressure adjustment type of moments than anybody else. It was him. If it wasn't for Nurse, what do you mean?
Coaches?
Not top 5 coach.
You don't think he's a top 5 coach this year? He's the coach of the year for me this year, right now.
You know what? Okay, let me put it like this.
I mean, I don't even think it's close.
Honestly, because of what he's done. Honestly, I can't be mad because if you look at it like this, he's literally, we're being disrespectful. If I think of it, because if you look at it, Steve Kerr went to one team and won a ring in his first year, and he's automatically was elevated, and he had hella nice players.
Yeah, but you can see.
And Nurse didn't have that. Nurse didn't have that. I've seen literally, if he did not start Ibaka and Gasol versus Philly when they're getting abused, that's an L.
That's true.
He been adjust what happened the first game. Remember game 1, Augustine destroyed Lowry. What did he do? Danny Green, go guard him.
Okay, name me 4 other.
But why? But hold on. Devil's advocate. You have top 5. You have Steve Kerr. Everyone has Steve Kerr in top 5 right now, obviously.
I don't.
But I'm saying, no. This is what I'm saying. Most people.
No.
But I'm saying.
Steve Kerr's talent is top 5.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
Listen
to what I'm saying.
No.
Steve Kerr. Hold on.
What coaching did he do this year?
Listen.
What coaching did he do this year?
That's different.
No. I've seen people with bums. I've seen people with bums.
No.
I've seen people with bums.
But hold on, what's different?
I've seen people with bums.
What's different
Name
between
me one person. Name me one person that you just like, bro, this guy's gonna be elite on the roster next year.
Watch.
No, name me one person.
No, I don't have to answer your question the way that you want.
But I'm just saying.
But what's the difference between Nurse and Kerr? They're both win a ring in the first year.
All right, listen.
Nurse had
For me with Kerr, I mean, not with Kerr, but with Nurse. What I give him credit for, right? I give him credit for the fact that the 2 things that I always look for to see if a coach is good is how do your role players play, and what is a team defense, as well as, sorry, I should say 3 things, as well as how does the ball move. Okay,
system.
These are the 3 things that I want to see. I want to see is there a system?
Yeah.
Is there some semblance of a system, right? I want to see how the team plays defense, and I want to see how the role players play, right? Nurse gets like at least an A in every one of those categories, right? Okay. Role players play very well on the Raptors. This is what we've seen. That's what I've seen thus far.
If Norman Powell could get Player of the Week,
role players play very well on the Raptors. Because they have the Raptors actually have a system. There's a lot of coaches that get an F when it comes to system.
Yeah. It's the star player
because they literally have no system. Yeah. If you actually watch enough basketball, you will notice that like 80% of teams is just thank you so much. That 80% of teams is literally just high screen and roll.
That's it.
Drive, kick, and pass. Or
expose the 1 weak player and just go ahead.
And a lot of some ISOs and stars. They write their stars, right? Basically.
But when you look at teams like the Trailblazers, like the Warriors, right? You can actually see that there's an offensive system that's there, right?
That's what I give credit to Kerr for.
And that's what I give credit to Kerr for.
The system was different with him and Mark Jackson. Different.
Especially considering the fact that for Steve Kerr, right? If you take away all of his stars, the system was made for the stars, right? This is why when people say that, look at how good, they say, look how good LeBron is because every time that he leaves, his teams are trash. No, the team was constructed
around LeBron.
Around LeBron. Yeah. The system was built around having a player like LeBron being there. So if the entire system was built around this player, it's not that he's just coming into a system and he's just a cog in the system. He is the actual, you actually made a system that is the LeBron system. Yeah. Any coach that LeBron goes to that doesn't make it the LeBron system, LeBron has them moved.
Exactly.
Anytime that a coach tries to do a different type of system, a different type of way of doing things, a way of incorporating the players that they have in a way that's actually going to complement them as well, LeBron has them moved because he wants to be able to do what he does at the highest level that he does it. And because he can't score, because he's not a threat off ball at all.
That's all.
He can't.
He has to hold the ball.
He can't play in a different system.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So Nick Nurse gets those points, right? But Kawhi, for me, I don't know, man. I can hear him being top 5, but I just feel like I need to see more.
Nurse, you mean?
Yeah, and
Nurse.
For Nurse,
but I'm just asking you, name me, just name me.
So I would say Doc Rivers.
Cap! Doc Rivers is cap! On God is cap!
Nah, Popovich is number one. Popovich is number one.
You think Doc Rivers is doing a better job?
Nobody said better. Said top 5.
But he's had elite talent though.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Doc Rivers as a coach Doc Rivers
adjusts.
Doc Rivers a leader is elite. But Doc Rivers as a coach, no. As a leader of men, I like
his
it.
coaching.
What's the difference?
There's a big difference. When you can rally up the troops.
Yeah.
How is Doc Rivers a bad coach?
First of all, his time management. Have you seen what he did to Kawhi this year? Trash. When Kawhi's not playing, his whole system and everything is flopped. The way how he has everything set up,
but that's out of context. It's a
not
whole
out of
new
context.
team. It's a whole new team.
I saw them for years.
What do you mean? Look what they've
Lob
done.
City, what he was doing. All these years, I've seen him for years.
But,
he has always
I get both sides. I get both sides.
Underachieved always.
But you can't blame it solely on him because he's had Blake Griffin, who's been stunted.
Teams are always playoff teams.
Teams always playoff teams. His team is always yes, I get what you're saying. They should go further than
what
you saying
every year are they overachieving or underachieving every year?
He's overachieved with him last year.
No, I said majority. Let's give him his tenured as a Clipper.
He's underachieved, but not due to him.
Then that's a conversation.
No, but that's not due to him. Blake Griffin,
you don't think so?
Blake Griffin was stunted, and they've been injured in the playoffs with Chris Paul and Blake. Every playoff.
Blake also.
And Blake Griffin has no post game.
Yes, I know Blake. Blake is made out of glass. I know.
Not only that, play style wise, he had no post game.
Blake is mad.
That's one of your guys. Blake had no post game. Zebo fooded him.
How am I disrespecting Blake?
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's already now.
Everybody was a baby once in their life. Everybody has been fooded at some point in their life.
But he's always been a baby till now. Gerber.
No, man.
And we didn't get his applesauce injured.
Blake was nice. We have to.
Why are you saying was nice like his past tense? Like the man's old.
Because he doesn't play the same way that he used to.
Because he's made out of glass. That's why.
He's advanced his skill set. He's playing more of like a
glass. Every year he's injured. Them knees, bro. Last year, Bucks out of playoffs. The year before,
he's always injured.
Every playoff run, the man is gone.
You're hating on a coach because
I don't
every
agree
team
with
that he's played. Every team that he's coached for has been a contender.
Exactly.
But hasn't.
But they don't. But they don't.
And he has won championships.
Where?
One.
Chip. That's what I'm saying. He's overrated.
He has won a championship.
He's not over.
Okay.
A chip.
But every team he's played, every team he's coached for has been a legitimate contender.
At the start of the season.
You cannot
and they always underachieve.
But them underachieving is because of injuries and other things.
But they're still a contender throughout the season.
I don't care. He underachieves.
His teams are always top 5 team in the NBA.
Anyway, forget that.
How's that cat? What team did he have that was a top 5 team?
All the time, bro.
What team?
All the time, bro.
Yo, what are you talking about?
Bro, just because they have the record doesn't mean they are. That's like me looking at...
What?
Just like, no. It does. Just because they have the record, the wins and losses, doesn't mean they're top 5.
So you're talking about power ranking.
No, he's talking about this.
Yeah, he's talking about power ranking.
He's saying they have good good regular season team like the Raptors, but then when it matters and in those situations, they're not on those. They're not on the level.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say top 2.
Underachieved.
I didn't say top 3.
You said top 5.
I said top 5.
That's a lot.
Please tell me.
That's high.
Please tell me what team Doc Rivers has coached that was not a top 5 team.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
bro,
but he's saying something underachieved, but them underachieving.
So tell me which team was it?
So why do we never see him in the conference final?
You see how he's not answering my question?
No, I'm just saying.
I told you
which
injuries.
Which team was it that wasn't top 5?
We can't say injuries all the time, man.
But they're injured.
Bro, the man got nice one time with the injuries with the other team, and what did they do? They blew the bed against the Rockets.
But
pause.
Nah, but
against the Rockets, what happened against the Rockets? They slapping the Rockets at home.
But Blake wasn't even there, was he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
They were all playing. They weren't injured. And they got slapped.
That's what I'm saying. Blake Griffin is because Blake Griffin had deficiencies as a star player. But anyways, past that. Let's go. We're going with Pascal. Pascal versus Jason Tatum. We don't even need to talk about it. They feel like it's not even a discussion. I know, even though we didn't answer the Pascal situation, we didn't answer that. Pascal versus Jason Tatum. But whatever, don't matter. We're going to naturally talk about it right now. So there's a whole debate, a whole thing going on right now with basically the Raptors with Kawhi and the championship Raptors versus the Raptors now, which is, Kawhi's not there. Pascal stepped up. Oh my God, we got a bunch of role players. The Raptors have a great record without Kawhi, a better record than the Clippers with Kawhi. This whole Raptors are going to go to the finals. Raptors are going to be this and this. That's what they're saying. This current Raptors, they're talking like they're about this life. So now let's dive into basically how my perspective is A lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening when they're going to see really how much they miss Kawhi when it's that time versus the other spectrum, which is, yo, Raptors are that nice. We could keep Pascal for the long run, maybe get Giannis and be, a forefront for the future. What do y'all think about that? Because you already know how I feel. Let me hear y'all first, and then, I'll give my one too.
Well, first of all, I think it's so weird for Raptors fans trying to recruit Giannis. That is the weirdest thing I've ever thought about. Bro,
Speak up, nigga. Let him know.
It makes no sense to me. Why do you want Giannis so bad? No, honestly.
Well, one who? Giannis?
Yes, the way how every man's
the African brother
recruiting Giannis. I don't understand.
Two men who play the same. We seen him in the All-Star game. Couldn't get no bucket. Pascal got locked up by Harden, and we seen Giannis get locked up by Bron. Couldn't get no bucket. Now, what are y'all talking about, man? Anyways, keep going. They're gonna play together with the same way.
and then you're gonna be paying Giannis what, 35, almost 40 million a year to do what?
For two men that can't shoot.
What is it like? How are you answering the question that he
I'm just seeing that every man's like countdown. That's our next guy we're recruiting. That's just what
he's not coming, bro.
Bro, tell these Raptors fans one more time. Say it one more time.
He's not coming.
Because that's what they've been preaching. 2021 we're Giannis. That's all you see. 2021 it's Giannis. That's all you see everywhere.
And even if he comes, what are we doing? What are we doing? They're acting like he didn't get patted by Kawhi. Why do we want Giannis? We seen a man literally walk off the court with his head down. Why do we want him?
Like, it makes no sense to me. And then they say good riddance to Kawhi.
How old is Giannis?
Good what?
You didn't see this Raptors fans be saying good riddance?
Check.
Are you gonna answer the question?
No, I just want to. I'm finally here. No, I'm finally here. My voice could be
answer the question, man. Let me know. What does y'all think about the Raptors? Like, which one do you appreciate? The championship one or this one moving forward? Like, do you think Raptors are gonna defend their ring this year? Or you think, yeah, he's 25, which is why I get that fact where you would want him because potential, but at Giannis, because he's only 25. But again, I like Giannis' mentality. I like all of that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, we know we know what we want and what we need to be elite. Is Giannis going to be a closer? We don't know. Are we going to use time to develop Giannis and also have Pascal who play exactly the same? Like, lengthy power forwards? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the logic between, both fans play the exact same. Why would you have them on the same team?
No, I think, the problem is, first of all, the first problem is that I was waiting for Noah to answer the question.
Yeah, he didn't answer. Wow. He didn't answer. Let him know. He didn't answer. That's what he does. He asks a question. Instead of answering, he asks. He'll ask a question.
And he never answered the question. That's the first problem.
Listen, I've been around things too much. That's why I deflect. They be hitting me
man deflects for the next question. That's what you do.
Just deflect. What are we?
What are we?
And I just deflect.
Right, and ask the next question. Then you just change.
Right?
Answer.
But honestly, like, I think what people need to understand, man, and it's what I can't stand with Raptors fans, man. And I'm a Raptors fan too, but I'm not like y'all. Do you see what I'm saying? What I can't stand with Raptors fans is you have to understand that not everything that glitters is gold. Okay? Not everything, a regular season record does not give you the clearest indication of what the actual power ranking is.
Mm-hmm.
Who is truly in the best position to win. When you see Siakam, do you see somebody who literally cannot be guarded? Or do you see somebody who, depending on the situation, so long as it's favorable to the conditions that he needs,
spin move,
he plays well.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, when he does play well, is he somebody who, when the chips are all on the line, he will carry? I'm not talking about a one moment. I'm talking about Mariah. My last name is always Carey. I carry. I'm talking about Laura. Knapsack. Carry on my back. Always on my back.
Let him know.
Okay?
Let him know. No.
Because men who carry, The other team is shook whenever the game is on the line. When you see Kobe, when the game is on the line, everybody knows what time it is, bro.
You already know.
When you see Dame go like this,
you know
as
what
soon
time
as it's
it
clutch,
is.
my man goes like this, you know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like you guys don't, and this is what happens, right? People who never played sports. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say I play sports at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But I've played sports my whole life, and I've played sports in actual teams. I'm not talking about you play ball at the park. Okay? There's no pressure at the park.
Exactly.
Okay? And some of y'all, as soon as girls are at the park, you can't play no more.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exposed.
As soon as your son or your daughter's at the park, all of a sudden you're a scrub. So even that little bit of pressure, y'all can't even take that. Okay?
Right?
But let me explain. If you've never been on a team where you've made it to a championship game, you don't understand. When you know that this is it, that there's nothing else after this, right? That everything that you did the whole season has built up to this point.
Let them know, man.
And this is it. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not feeling well. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend just broke up with you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if your dog died. This is it. Mm-hmm. There's a certain pedigree of man on the inside that it takes to come out and to still carry. That's why I said Mariah.
Because you always carry.
Because
no matter what.
You always carry. Pascal, and I'm not trying to disrespect Pascal. I'm not trying to disrespect Lowry. They are not who you think they are. They're not.
And they only became that because Mariah, Carey, Kawhi was on the floor. Like people don't understand, man. That's why I try to tell people, man. Like I tell y'all who watch the videos, y'all know. Constantly I show you, yes, Lowry did good. Yes, Pascal did good. Yes, Van Vliet did good. All of that type of stuff. But these are the same men who were on the same team when there was no Kawhi and it was DeRozan. What happened? Oh my God. Upset. Oh my God. Upset. Oh my goodness. Upset. Oh, what's going on? Now you have an elite guy on the court. Automatic ring.
That's it.
Automatic ring.
Simple.
And y'all want to overboost what the role players have done in that situation? Where are them versus Philly? Y'all people don't even understand. Versus Philly, who was doing what? Pascal eating in game 1. I put Embiid on him. I can't shoot no more. I'm not going to the paint. He just stood at the paint and his belly was hurting. And the man just stood in the paint, Embiid, and guarded you. Bricks. Van Vliet, everyone's putting in MIA notes. Where's Van Vliet? Oh, he's having his kid. He was MIA. Lowry, we seen him have 0 points. All of these guys have had anus stretches. Atrocious stretches in the playoffs. The one man, consistent, Kawhi.
Mariah.
Kawhi. Even if he's not getting buckets, he's playmaking. Even if he's not playmaking, you're drawing attention to him. Pascal's open, pump fake, now he could drive. Or even not only just that, basically, now you have it where even when he's struggling, what does he do? Versus game 7 versus Philly. I'm gonna grab, or versus the Bucks. I'm gonna grab 18 rebounds. Gasol don't even rebound. Gasol can get 3 rebounds.
Different.
Gasolino. Like, what are we talking about, man?
Different.
Man, don't understand, man. It's a different breed. It's a different discussion. Katie and Kawhi are on the 2 different echelons.
Gasol for that layup turned into fast break.
Oh. When he had a layup and he did a up and under whip all the way to half court. Man's palms are sweaty. Yes, they showed up in the finals and obviously everyone bring game 6 Lowry. When have you seen Lowry apply a string bag? When have you seen it? Now you apply the string bag and what does it say? Made in Kawhi.
But this is
his string bag is made in Kawhi.
Just, you know how true that is? What you guys aren't taking in is this, okay? Basketball is about momentum. Mm-hmm. It's about energy.
Game of runs.
Okay? When you have that energy translates into confidence. Mm-hmm. And anybody who's played basketball, you know that confidence is everything. Okay? When you have somebody on your team who you know is that guy, okay? He's Moses. He came to take us from Egypt to the promised land. Exactly. Okay? Moses is here. Okay? You were slaves before Moses came. You spent your whole... Bro, do you know how many years I've seen Lowry just run into the paint? Bro, I swear there was one playoffs. The closing play, Lowry gets blocked by 2 people.
Oh yeah,
off the same shot.
Brooklyn Nets.
Paul Pierce in them. Paul Pierce.
Bro,
no jump, got blocked.
Like,
no jump.
Like y'all so happy about the, and this is the problem. This is what I can't stand with Raptors fans, yo. Like, we're satisfied with just having a good team.
Mm-hmm.
We're so used to just having good teams that we think that's an accomplishment.
No, that don't mean shit.
You see the difference when you actually have a championship team? Are you telling me you feel that same energy in the city about this Raptors team? No, don't nobody care about this Raptors team. How are you the defending champions and they don't even talk about you?
Never seen that in the history.
Like, when was the last time that Pascal was a topic of debate on First Take or Undisputed? Like, what are you guys talking about, yo?
Right? He's an MIP finally he got MIP. When have you seen an MIP in a number 1 situation role the next year? Like,
and I'm gonna show you, to be honest with you, Pascal isn't even supposed to be the second best player on a championship team.
No, I agree.
He's supposed to be the 3rd best player on a championship team. Yeah. But Kawhi was so much that guy.
Yeah. That he was able to do his 1-2.
That he overcame.
Yeah, that was every other game.
That's a testament to even the team caliber of players. You actually don't have elite string bag, I could get a bucket myself players. That Pascal with no ISO is actually the second best guy. That shows you how much regular this team is. Basically, it's like the Spurs. It was like the Spurs with just a better role player with Pascal, because even the Spurs, at least they had Tim Duncan and had them. You had a 1. Everybody else, it wasn't even like a 2 with Pascal. It was just like, he can here and there, but he's just better than everybody else. And even then, like Lowry's I can name 20 PGs better than Lowry. There's no disrespect. It's just rating them where they are. Trae Young, in the second year, I'm taking over Lowry.
Don't be mad.
Like, I'm taking him, like, what are we talking about here? Yeah. There's so many point guards. So many. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. But yeah.
And that's why for me, I'm so confused when people feel that Lowry is like underrated.
What?
No, I'm confused when they say that.
Underrated.
Bro, they be saying these things, bro.
So what is he supposed to be?
I think he's beyond overrated.
He's overrated because of the All-Star burst.
So and not only that, just his payroll. You're paying this man. Imagine any other superstar on any other team that they're claiming, or any other man. Any other man that's making 30 plus million a season. Yeah, providing you the stats that this man is providing you. Yeah. Don't tell me that man's not on the trading block. I don't care.
If he was getting, if it was anybody, if it was like Westbrook getting, he's getting he's close to getting Westbrook money. If Westbrook was doing what he was doing, though, they roast Westbrook even averaging triple double.
That's what I mean.
Like, I understand Lowry has the intangibles and he has that, but there's so many benchmans that have the intangibles.
Yeah.
And they have
he takes charges. Okay.
Like, there's so many guys, you can't overrate intangibles.
What people don't understand is what makes the Raptors good, right? Because it sounds right now like we're just hating on the Raptors.
No, they're solid. They're a great regular season
What
team.
makes the Raptors so good is that the whole team is comprised of two-way players, right?
Defense.
And this almost never happens in today's basketball teams. Yeah. Every single position are two-way players. That's a credit that I have to give Nick Nurse. That's also the credit I have to give Masai, because he chose players that all play two ways. Yeah. All of them.
Yeah, that's facts.
Other teams, they only have offensive players, and the defensive players are just defensive players. But to have this is an old school team. The Raptors is an old school team, and this goes to show you that these old school teams, I go on YouTube and watch the way that these old school teams play, and I guarantee you, most of the teams today can't beat those teams.
Facts.
Because defense, when your whole team is playing defense and is strapping mans up, and they're getting buckets, because defense creates baskets, right?
Yeah.
Off of defense, you get turnovers, you get bad possessions, you get more possessions. So That's what gives the Raptors its strength. But the problem is
and the dribble drive.
just having two-way players isn't enough. You have to have a Moses. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? The only exception, as a matter of fact, I was going to say the only exception, it's not even an exception. The closest team that we had to having no Moses, and they still were a championship team, is the Pistons. But guess what? Who did they have?
They all got buckets. They had Bearmans.
They had
Rashid, Chauncey.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? Rip Hamilton?
Like exactly.
They got buckets.
The elite version of that team is not only were they a defensive team, they only had one person on the team who wasn't a closer.
Mm-hmm.
That's Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Every other man
could get a bucket in the clutch.
Can get you a bucket in the clutch.
Prince
Every other man.
With his shot, Tayshaun Prince.
Okay?
Yeah,
so that team is pretty much the elite version
of the Raptors. Yeah.
Of the Raptors.
Facts. Big facts.
Okay?
Big facts.
If the Raptors were like that team where every player on that team can literally get you the bucket when it's lunchtime, I trust my
right.
Okay? Then I would be with you. The Raptors are gonna win. You see what I'm saying?
No, they're not about that. Because we've seen them even with an all-star superstar, DeRozan, and they didn't do nothing. Because why? If anything, that should show me more who you are, because DeRozan dropped his level of play, which all the elite superstars rise their level of play. We've seen Kawhi average 25 during the season. Playoffs came 31 ASAP from the jump, from game one. You've seen that. You know what I'm saying? All those elite players, you hear Shaq say it all the time. Rise your level of play if you're really that guy in the playoffs. DeRozan drops OD that now the other guys have to rise up their level of play, and they did not do nothing.
Palm sweaty.
That already shows you. That already just shows you at the end of the day, enough is enough, man. Like, we already know. So now that links directly into, since we're talking about Lowry, we're talking about DeRozan, we're talking about Kawhi. So we talk about this before. We've talked about this before, but let's talk about this with the fans. Not a lot of people are talking about this though. The Raptors jersey retirement. You know what I'm saying? Who deserves a retired jersey within the organization? Right now, 0 we have. We have banners. We have one championship banner. You know what I'm saying? I think Kawhi deserves a statue, but that's a different discussion. You know what I'm saying? But jersey retirement. Now, before we talk, I understand and I know jersey retirement to me is honor. A high praise. That means no one who touches this court is wearing your number on the road, at home, preseason, playoffs, finals. No one touches your number. They don't even wear it. It's just in the rafters. That's what it is.
Because it should be disrespectful.
Exactly. It means no one could come to your level ever again that we just cancel this number. It means it's so elite, no one touches it again. That's, to me, that's the highest praise. To me, that's even higher praise than some people's ring. Because some people want a ring on the bench. Like McCaw, some of these guys.
That's a fact.
So to me, it depends who you are. So for when I look at it from that context, who do we retire? To me, I say I have two criteria before I throw it over to them. My criteria is if you have to be elite, be the sole reason you want a ring, right? You have the Kawhis, you have the number 1 or number 2 option, and then everybody else role players, you just get the ring. That's your present, and you get your bonus, whatever you get. You know what I'm saying? But, and also too, when they have the championship banner, they could put your names on that banner. You're there. You see the championship ring for the banner for the Raptors. Lowry, all those names are on the side, right? So you're there. You're stapled. But now jersey retirement is only for those. And if you don't win a ring, you have to be hella iconic, change the culture, you know what I mean? And be hella elite in that sense. So me, I say retirement, Kawhi, retirement, Vince Carter. That's it. That's my list. Now I'll throw it over to you guys. What do you guys think? That's it. That's what I have. I have Kawhi and Vince Carter. That's all I have. Y'all can go ahead and tell me. That's all I have.
Go ahead.
That's all I have. So you tell me, because I'm hearing people say DeRozan, Lowry.
See, for me,
give me
the retirement list. For me goes Vince Carter. No one's jersey gets retired until Vince Carter.
Okay,
Vince Carter's number 1.
I agree
because of everything he's done for the franchise, where he took them from, and where they go. Number 2, the second jersey that's retired is Lowry.
Oh my gosh, yo! What are you talking about?
Lowry is Mr. Raptor.
What are you?
Like the staple.
I know you're laughing. I don't even like him, but I have.
It's not about liking him.
I have to admit it.
Because this is player
He is
who has been
Mr.
the
Raptor.
face of the
Well,
Raptor.
Louder.
He's Mr. Raptor.
He's the face of the Raptor. He's been there for so long. Like he
He won a ring.
Raptors, Lowry's face is there. Like so, to give someone else a retired jersey
before him,
Just because he's been there the longest.
And he's won. He's accomplished the most.
And the heart, yeah. Like
How's he that's for me. That's for me that I could debunk, rebuttal your whole statement. The fact that you've been there that long and you only won when I came for 1 year means you're not that elite.
I get
What?
what you guys
That
are
doesn't
saying,
matter.
But they're gonna.
Dirk has
What are
one
we
ring.
valuing here?
Dirk has one ring. Mans have one ring. There's beer
But
mans
Dirk
with
is
one-
elite. What do you mean Dirk?
There's beer mans with one ring. I'm just saying there's beer mans with one ring.
Listen,
He's a role player. He's like Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher ain't
No,
ever
that's
get
disrespectful.
Lonzo Ball just has Derek Fisher's number.
that's
And they
disrespectful.
talked about Lonzo Ball in the Raptors
No,
before Derek
I think
Fisher.
The Raptors franchise is different.
Yeah, that's
In
what
the
I'm
sense
telling
that
you.
That's why we only have one ring.
Who they boost, it's so different. Like
Yeah, like you're talking about, it's a different echelon. Like when we're talking about the Lakers,
I retired
the
Damon Stoudemire.
Boston. Stop it. Now you're
That's
being
why
rude.
he wore Damon
Now you're-
Stoudemire's jersey. What
Now
do you
you're being
mean?
rude. Now you're being rude.
listen,
Now you're
man.
being rude. Childs had that number.
Listen,
too.
man. This is the equivalent of going to a picnic, and they have a piggyback race, and then the person who is on the person's back, okay, the person who is riding on the person's back, is the one who gets their jersey retired. When the one who was carrying him, who carried him.
You already know.
Listen, Lowry, we already just talked about Lowry.
Yes,
We just talked about Lowry.
but he's still Mr. Raptor.
It doesn't matter. Listen, the only time that I will give you, the only time that I will give you the point about longevity to have your jersey retired is if you have that longevity point on a dynasty. And even then,
Facts.
you have to be more than just longevity. You have to give me a little some extra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We can't, like Raptors fans, I want you to understand something. Imagine we walk into Madison Square Garden. Oh, sorry, my fault. What's the
Lakers? You already know. What, Lakers? Boston?
What's the arena for Boston?
The TD Garden.
We walk into TD Garden,
But that's the
Okay.
Boston Celtics.
and we see Kevin Garnett, right?
Kevin McHale.
We
Larry
see
Bird.
Larry
Paul Pierce.
Okay,
That's
we walk
different,
into the Lakers. Okay, we see Kobe Bryant. Okay, we see Shaquille O'Neal. We see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We see Magic Johnson.
That's different.
Okay,
That's out of context.
we walk into Chicago. We see Michael Jordan. Okay, we see Scottie Pippen, and then we walk to Toronto and we see Kyle Lowry.
See?
Does that make sense?
This is because man's wanna, I get it, the Mr.
It
Raptor.
does make sense.
It's because of the
That's why it makes
they're
sense.
trying to do longevity, they're
It's
trying
not.
to do.
It's not only that. It's about
And the
you got to
games
take
where we
every
have to
franchise
work.
uniquely.
Yeah.
The franchise itself. Listen,
yeah.
Chris Bosh got his jersey retired in Miami.
But he was part of the big three. That's so disrespectful.
They did what? They did what? What did they do?
They won 2 out of
2
4
rings. That's all they did.
Out of 4 rings.
And he was
Rings
there.
is a big deal.
But he was part of a
The
big
man was there
three.
for 5 years and he only won 2 rings and then he was out and he was a big 3 and he did what? He had 1 point games.
What?
He had 1
He
point
was
games.
there for
He had
5
1 point
years
games.
and he won 2 rings. That's a big
But
deal.
how about Lowry? How about Lowry's resume?
How about Lowry?
Lowry's not
What
even
did
in
he
the
do with the Rosen all these years? I've been waiting.
I understand, but you gotta take it in each franchise uniquely. You're talking about
I
the
get that
Boston
point.
Celtics. Look at all the championships that have ever been run. Those franchises have won more than 25% of those rings. So you can't compare
Exactly.
it.
So you go,
You can't compare it.
take the
You
blueprint
gotta look at the
of
Phoenix
elite.
Suns. Phoenix Suns retired who? Kenny Johnson in those men's.
But Kenny Johnson was elite in his
You say he's more elite than Kyle Lowry for his
You're
franchise?
disrespectful.
Are you really going to-
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm bringing up Kenny Johnson right now.
No,
No, bring him up right now.
Please.
Bring him up right now.
Look, I'm
Please
just saying.
compare to
Bring him
us
right now.
I'm just
Kevin
saying.
Johnson compared to Kyle Lowry.
Someone at least won a ring.
First of all, they ran into Jordan. What are you talking about?
Okay.
All right.
He says,
But they ran into the actual goal of LeBron James.
Look at this. Look at Kenny Johnson's averages in his prime. 20 points per game, 22.5, 22.2, 19.7, 16.1, 20, 15.5, 18.7, 20. As a point guard back then in a passing point guard era.
Pull up Lowry.
All right, I got you.
Lowry don't disappoint me, man.
I got you. Let's pull up Lowry. Let's pull up Lowry.
I've been questioning.
Let's pull up Lowry. Look at his first 7 years: 5.6, 9.6, 7.6, 7.6, 7.6, 9.1. Now I'm going in his prime. In his prime.
Raptors years.
Yeah, I'll go. Okay, Raptors in his prime. His first year with the Raptors: 11.6, 17.9, 17.8, 21, 22, 16, 14, 19. What comparable to
that's jersey retirement?
That's
So
funny.
listen, I know it's not. But if you
and we're not even bringing his playoffs numbers.
guys, I'm telling you, I know, I agree with you.
That's what my point. You brought us same Phoenix franchise. Phoenix.
Let her say what she's trying to say.
On a grand scale of things, yes, nobody's thinking about Lowry. But if you put him in the Raptors limelight, like if you think about who on the Raptors would you retire their jersey before Lowry? Who?
Vince Carter.
Kawhi and VC.
Kawhi.
No, not Kawhi.
Because they're the ones who deserve to have their jersey retired.
Vince Carter, I can understand.
So this is basically what me and his point is. Our point is that one, to even get into that jersey retirement talk, you have to be a certain caliber of player from the jump. That's what because we're saying jersey retirement is so elite. There's some people like Allen Iverson who never won a ring, but their jersey retired. Chris Webber, those guys, they're still staples, not just with that team, but amongst the league during that era that they were with that team.
You can't be good.
Kyle Lowry wasn't even only mentioned as a starter one time, and that was because of Bieber fans. How are you getting your jersey retired when you're a backup reserve every year? You're not even elite amongst the rest of your peers.
Who's better than Kyle Lowry on the Raptors?
It's not that's what we're saying. We're saying the Raptors franchise is so weak. That's what we're saying. The Raptors franchise has been so weak in comparison to the Lakers or whatever that at the end of the day, you only
Lakers.
Listen to what I'm saying, but you have to. I'm saying
compare them,
but even to the Suns.
Those men.
Listen, man.
I'm saying you have to
award Charlotte Bobcats.
But you have
the Bobcats are going to retire. I mean, the Hornets are going to. They retire jerseys.
I don't agree with that. That's what I'm saying. You're bringing up comparable statements like that's going to justify what I'm saying. They're doing it wrong too. What I'm saying is the elite people who are doing it is the Lakers. That's the reason why they have championship rings, because even like when LeBron came to the Lakers, you haven't won shit with us yet. We don't rate you. The only rate what you do as elite. Robert Horry has won bare rings with the Lakers. You're not up there. Derek Fisher has won 5 rings with Kobe. Kobe has never won a ring without Derek Fisher. Lonzo Ball's ring number 2. They're talking about Lonzo Ball on the Raptors before Derek Fisher. He's wearing the same number. And Lonzo Ball didn't even play a game yet.
I'm not going to be surprised if he's Lowry. That's all I'm saying.
Huh?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I won't be surprised if they retire.
See, that's what I'm saying. They give it to Lowry. That just shows me. That just shows you guys will never win a ring again.
This is the thing, right? You have to understand.
You guys got lucky that Kawhi was in that blessed situation.
What Lincoln is saying is so important because you have to understand is what standard are you holding yourself to?
Exactly.
Right? Are you assuming greatness for your future or mediocrity for your future?
Exactly.
The reason why we're talking like this is because we want the Raptors to aim for greatness.
Exactly.
We don't want this. You know how embarrassing that is? You know how embarrassing that is? That you're gonna walk into the arena and you're gonna see Kyle Lowry's jersey retired, and then when you go to the Lakers, you see Kobe Bryant, Shaquille. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
A lot of this is Masai. Look at the players he's also.
But it's not. But that's what I'm saying. It's not that. It's also franchises.
Yeah,
look at Denver Nuggets. Look at Denver Nuggets. Look at all these other
It
organizations.
doesn't matter.
But
if you don't deserve to have a jersey retired, then you don't get to have a jersey retired.
But it also comes
listen,
out. No, you do.
Wait. Listen. What you have to understand is this decision is permanent, okay? This is worse than letting somebody into the Hall of Fame who doesn't deserve to go to the Hall of Fame. Because at least somebody will be able to wear that number again, okay? When you retire somebody's jersey,
no one's wearing it,
who doesn't deserve to have their jersey retired, that number can never be used ever again. What happens to the next Michael Jordan who just gets drafted by the Toronto Raptors and the number that he wanted was the number 7? Because of Kyle Lowry, he can't wear it.
Facts. Big facts. And we're not saying, again, everyone's like, oh my God, you disrespecting
but
Lowry.
you
No,
guys
we're
are
not.
sit- but
You
what-
rate him accordingly.
Y'all are shitting on the nigga.
Yeah,
No,
you
we're
are
not.
killing
No,
this
we're
man.
not.
And
He's
I'm
not on
even
that
a fan.
caliber.
But I
He's
see
not-
a dead body when I see a dead body. I see it.
Okay, perfect example. This is
Let me
this is
show-
our
you wanna
point.
see
This
a
is our
dead body?
point. This is our point of what we're trying to say. This is what we also discussed before too. When you name the title Mr. Raptor, yes, longevity plays to it, but the people who you're seeing in comparison of that longevity, we're still in an elite category. Perfect example is Mr. Thunder Westbrook. He's already in an elite category.
Very
Three straight triple doubles, done something
Very
no one's done in
elite.
history. He's already an elite player that when you name him Mr. Thunder, yes.
And he's a
It makes sense.
superstar.
And he's a superstar. You can't be a superstar named Mr. Raptor. That's just a fan favorite at a talent show. We don't care about you.
That's literally, what's this guy's name? Caruso? What's his first name? That's,
Alex Caruso.
That's literally
Fan
Alex
favorite.
Caruso. You're a fan favorite. The fans love you.
Westbrook
And because
won
of,
a ring.
No, he doesn't want to win,
No,
but he's
but
already a
at least he
superstar
went to the
talent.
finals.
He's a
How many
superstar
times
level.
did he bring them to the conference finals? How many times did he
But
bring
he's a
team
superstar
that
caliber
shouldn't have
player.
even made it to the playoffs to be in the playoffs? He's an MVP. He's a perennial all-star. Like, we can't even compare Westbrook
But that's
to Kyle
what I'm
Lowry.
saying,
Even
see?
just to mention Westbrook and Kyle
know,
Lowry
it's disrespectful.
is disrespectful to
It's
Westbrook.
But to answer your point, it's not. I said we said you award the people like
I
Kawhi
apologize.
with the rings. You award them if they want a ring. You award the elite player. But if you haven't won a ring, you have to be on Vince Carter type of level. Vince Carter, literally,
A culture changer.
literally, Katie said I wanted to go to the Raptors because of Vince Carter. Literally, no one talked about the Raptors ever until Vince Carter came on the map
Like,
and T-Mac.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is
No
that
one mentioned
it's by
Lowry.
franchise. The jersey
People talked about
retirement
the
is by
Raptors because
franchise.
of Drake more than Lowry.
For example, I'll even tell you. Watch, Marcus Gasol's gonna get his jersey retired in Memphis.
Nah.
Tell me if
I
I'm
don't even
capping.
know about
No,
that.
he's not.
You don't. Oh, you don't think
He didn't even
Zebo
win a
is?
ring with them.
You don't think Zebo
Zebo's different. Zebo's different.
Oh, why is
He's
Zebo
been
different?
hella elite there.
No, you can't pick and choose.
What do you mean I didn't
You
pick
can't
and choose?
pick
I
and
told
choose.
you,
You can't pick
if
and
you haven't
choose.
won a ring, you have to be so elite caliber within your team. He won a
And
ring
even
somewhere
Ze-
else.
Even
Zebo
Zebo
doesn't deserve a retirement
Even
either.
Zebo is fringe. It's a fringe.
Yeah, I
listen,
wouldn't give
listen.
him one. I wouldn't
For you
give
to
him
have
one
your
either.
jersey retired, for you to be the Mr. something of a team, and you didn't win any rings, okay?
You have to be on a. You have to be a top 10 player in the league at that
a
point.
super star.
Yeah, a top 10 player.
You have to be what we call box office.
Exactly.
Zebo
Thank
never
you.
People came to the
Zebo,
arena
that's what I said. You wouldn't be.
because
But he's gonna get his
of
jersey
you.
retired. I could put.
Then I disagree
Okay.
with it. I disagree
could
with
bet
it.
money
If
on
he
that.
does.
Zebo will get his jersey retired.
If you're gonna get this, we're just gonna retire your jersey because of how long you played on this team. You better be Udonis Haslem, okay? You better have been playing on that team for so long. Generations have passed. And my children's children have still seen you playing on the same team, okay?
Right?
You better be Patrick Ewing, okay?
Don't Patrick.
Don't
And
do
even
that.
Patrick
Don't
Ewing,
do
you
that.
can't use
He's
that
elite.
because he was a superstar.
If you're not being able to be on a starter as an all-star during your era that you were during your tenure there, you're not even in the bread. You're not. When they talked about the Raptors, they even talked about DeRozan first before Lowry.
Man said United. I see Jordan. I come to Scotiabank.
Lowry. It's actually disrespectful.
That would be upsetting, but still.
No, because
Iverson not win a ring because he was on the same team. Like, I'm finding that a lot of these
Yeah, because
they're
of
so stubborn to
the
be
agenda
team.
changed. No, the agenda changed now.
Yeah, people leave teams now. That's why I'm saying if you want a ring, you could be there for like Shaq. You only played with the Lakers. What? He had like a 6 year era where he won and he won 3 out of those times. So it's like you're already stapled, but you already were elite. We give it to you.
Yo, watch this point. Watch this point. The difference is with Iverson in Philly is a king in Philly. Okay? If you're going to talk about, especially during that time.
He's a king in the league. And then Philly.
Especially if you're talking about during that time. I'm talking about just for the city. For the city.
Yeah.
Okay? During that time, Iverson is undisputedly the king of Philly. Even above Will Smith. During that time.
Yeah, facts.
Iverson, yo, Lowry is literally not even Drake in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm not even being disrespectful, okay? Lowry
about
is
Drake
not
more
that
than
guy
Lowry.
in this city. As much as you guys think that he is, and the perfect proof is look at who Kawhi was in this city in 1 year. We're giving him free passes to restaurants. We gave him the key to the whole city.
And the man left.
actually lifted himself above Drake. In Toronto. We're begging him, please don't go. Please.
Kawhi
please
stay.
Please.
And DeRozan and Lowry both been free agents and he just signed.
Like when you're talking talking about Mr. Raptor, Lowry isn't even popular enough in Toronto to be called Mr. Raptor.
Yeah.
Okay? If you go to Oklahoma City, there is not one man, woman, or child that is not a fan of Russell Westbrook.
Facts.
Okay? Russell Westbrook, even now that he's in Houston, is still the biggest star in Oklahoma.
Facts.
Even though Russell Westbrook playing in Houston is the biggest star in Oklahoma because it doesn't matter what jersey he wears from this moment forward. He will always be seen as Mr. Thunder. Am I telling the truth? Lowry is not that. He's not. And that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
How about you? He was saying, remember?
I said Lowry. I said DeMar deserves a jersey retired.
The Frozen?
Yo, how? Hold on. Wait.
How can you get a jersey? I traded you in your prime.
Thank you.
For a more elite version.
I just said what I was about to say. What?
How can you be retired when I trade in your prime? 27.
It's unfortunate.
In your prime.
Talking about?
I said I can't. The man Masai said I can't win with you. I traded you in your prime.
Him and Lowry have every Raptor.
No injury.
Matter?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately.
No, it doesn't.
You talking about stats? What is
There's still time. There is still time. The Raptors is one of the newest teams in the NBA.
Listen, 10 is an ugly number. No nigga's gonna have it. Just give it to him.
No,
stop that.
No,
we can get a shooter.
DeRozan, and you know what? This is the thing. I don't want to be too hard on guys because I know one day you guys might see this. You know what? I just have to speak from my heart, guys. I'm not trying to offend you. I just have to speak from what I've seen. Okay, what disqualifies DeRozan is, first of all, he wasn't who we needed him to be in the playoffs ever.
Palms are sweaty.
To the point, not as a player and not as a leader. Okay? You can't be in the middle of a series and when they asked you, why did you lose? You say, we would have won if we had LeBron on our team, and the series isn't even done. And you're going to retire that?
You gotta retire him, bro.
Nah.
That doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't make
even
any
you don't
sense.
believe that, bro.
It doesn't make any sense.
So hold on. Let me ask you. Watch this. If you had a team of Noah Land and DeRozan was a star on your team and you had all the same players through all the history in Noah Land of your team, would you want to see DeRozan's name in the rafters after you traded him in the middle of his prime because you needed something better?
And one without him.
No, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't.
So then that means that your opinion is ours.
No.
He's saying because of stats. He's doing the
I'm saying the franchise itself.
He's saying the franchise.
If it was me,
but they want to ring
me
now.
Is
the
different. Me, I'm able to sit there, look at the fans, and they say shame. If I don't retire DeMar's jersey, and I'll still walk with my head high. I don't think ownership could do that.
Yes, they could, because people don't even care about DeRozan like that.
They do. You hear these buckets every day say they want to bring him back. Bring him back. He's on the trade back.
You're talking about die-hard fans. Try-hard fans. If you're really a star, you make people who don't watch basketball come to watch you. You become a star to every single person that is in that jurisdiction. That's what Kawhi was. DeRozan was never that.
He was. DeRozan
No, he
got traded, and in the clutch, he got cookied by Kawhi, and Kawhi won the game. That tells you everything.
DeRozan was never
and
that.
twice.
Like, people in Toronto are not watching basketball just because of DeRozan. That's what Vince Carter was. That's what Kawhi was.
It's because of Drake, Jurassic Park, We the North. I'm telling you, Drake was so impactful to that team.
We the North run, they're giving it to
For example, how you got benched in the clutch?
Bro, the first time we ever made it to the conference
he got benched in the clutch for OG in his rookie year.
But the first time we ever made it, and
that's not DeRozan's rookie year.
The first time we ever made it
in his prime in the playoff conference final, game 6, they benched you in the fourth quarter. And the Raptors, not only did they bench you, they went on a run. They went on a run. They went on a run. He came to clutch. They went on a run. Once they benched you, they went on a run.
I understand that, but the first time we ever made it to the conference finals was with those two guys.
So what? Wow. So every time you make it to a conference finals, you have to retire the jersey?
I never said every time. I'm just saying.
Okay, Sir Blake Griffin have his jersey retired for the Clippers?
So. Oh my God.
No, man. What are you talking about, man? I can't talk to you about this stuff, man.
I think so. You don't think Blake?
No! For what?
He didn't even play half the playoffs. He was injured.
Yeah, but
he missed like 3 playoffs.
And taking Blake,
his All-Star wins.
Was Blake not my favorite player for a long time?
Yeah.
But you see, this is the problem. Y'all have to really think here for a second, okay? There are players in the Hall of Fame who haven't had their jersey retired.
Exactly.
We don't just throw around jersey retirement. That is a permanent number.
It's a high honor.
Will never, at the same way that championship banners, more people will see your jersey retired than people will see you in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Because there's thousands of people who come to every single game.
They look up Lowry.
And they see your name.
DeRozan.
Yo, for you to reach that, to me, it's even disrespectful to Lowry. If I'm Lowry, I wouldn't want to have my jersey retired yet. I want to do more myself to prove that I need to have my jersey retired.
Facts.
Right? When you make that the standard of jersey retirement, then who shouldn't have their jersey retired that stays on the same team?
Mans are trying to make jersey retirement become like these tribute videos where every man gets a tribute.
Bro, if you do it that way, then there's not going to be any numbers left. Honestly,
you can't have your jersey retired. There's going to be
jerseys retired all over all the arenas. It's just going to be jerseys upon jerseys upon jerseys.
What numbers are left? Exactly. How can you have your jersey retired and you've never been a top 10 in your position? In your prime.
That's wild, man.
How?
You were never even a star.
They never mentioned you.
Not even a star. Not a star.
Not even a starter. Not even all-star starter.
You're not box office. You don't even have a signature shoe. Right? And it's not disrespect because...
Bro, he wears Hardens, fam.
Because his career is still continuing, right?
So he can drop it down.
So he can make that. Done. He can make that with time. Right? No. If he comes back and he snaps and he becomes elite. No, and my next problem is with him and with these other guys, right? When I look at somebody like Paul George, right? Even Blake Griffin. When I look at Kawhi Leonard, they didn't come into the league so amazing. But every single year that you look at these guys, you can tell, yo, this guy got way better.
Facts.
No, I agree.
Right? I can give that to DeRozan, that DeRozan is somebody who I can tell works on his game. My only issue is with DeRozan. That's why I would rather see DeRozan's jersey retired than Kyle Lowry's. Kyle Lowry has not gotten better. Okay?
No,
he hasn't.
No.
Okay?
I don't agree with that.
But DeRozan,
I'm taking Lowry over DeRozan any day of the week.
But DeRozan, at least I've seen him get progressively better and better and better and better.
Wow,
he hasn't
even never added a tray ball.
But he has different takes from what he used to take when he first came into the league.
Even if you get better, even if you get better, yes. Even if you get better, but yes, even if you get better, at the end of the day, one who hasn't gotten better, one who hasn't gotten better in the clutch, at least what he's always done, or a little bit better, which is Lowry. Sometimes it's low, sometimes he's here, sometimes he's there, and even within it wavering, he's still trying. DeRozan goes MIA. All that getting better in the clutch, you disappear. You become the coach.
That's a fact.
Dribble off leg.
Even then, you're not even you're not even at least motivating your team. You're not even at least talking them up. Both of y'all are just on the court, just like, yo, we're losing.
Yo, nothing worse than that feeling,
bro. You know
when you play sports,
there's
no worse feeling than when you're there. You're like, damn,
bro. When you have T-Mac on your team.
This is defeat right now.
Like, you don't turn off the TV because you know at any moment he could come back.
Exactly. 13 points, 30 seconds.
DeRozan and Lowry, it was never that. It was never that. And it doesn't mean that they weren't great for Toronto. It doesn't mean that they weren't amazing teammates for Toronto. But guess what? Mo Pete was great. Okay? JYD was great. Okay? We love those guys. Okay? These are fan favorites. These are people who during that time in Toronto, they could go anywhere and they would get love. But guess what? If now we see Mo Pete on the street buying a hot dog, probably 90% of you won't even know who that was.
Exactly. That's fact.
Because he was not that guy. But he was a fan favorite.
Yeah.
JYD.
Yeah.
Y'all know who that is? Junkyard Dog? Oh, you forgot about him. Exactly.
Perfect. So from there, our last topic, obviously, we're going ham right now, which I love it. We'll talk about the NBA.
15?
Huh? 15 what?
7.
15.
This
nigga said 15,
10.
7, 2, 10.
That's what I said.
No.
What is that?
Their numbers.
Exactly.
He's saying VC, Lowry, then Kawhi, then DeRozan. This
Ew.
Nigga said then Kawhi deserves a jersey retirement and a statue. The only ring.
Agree.
Facts, man.
What are you guys talking about? 1 year and done?
I don't care if he just spent 1 year, man. What he did to this city, the way that he electrified this city, I've never seen a player in any sport have such an impact on a team in 1 year as I've seen Kawhi. And I'm not saying that there hasn't been a player that's done that in 1 year. I'm saying I haven't seen it.
In 1 year.
Right? I know that Magic Johnson, his first year on the Lakers,
but Lakers always been winning anyways.
But that was a winning franchise.
Exactly.
Okay? The Raptors, like, first of all, in Toronto, we struggle to win championships in any sport.
The fact that he broke through. There's even people even say a Raptors curse. People even say a Raptors curse.
Okay.
Like,
it's
that's
hard
crazy.
To be a Toronto fan. And because we're Toronto fans and we're so used to losing, we've become optimistic. Okay. So we talk so positively all year about our team because we're Canadians. And we're nice like that. Okay. So we talk nice about our teams. Oh man, the Leafs are doing well this year. The Leafs have a chance to win it this year.
The Blue Jays have a chance.
And it never happens. It never happens. And this was the one time that it happened. This is the one time that it happened.
Mets haven't won anything since 1991, 92, since Blue Jays. Like, are you guys understanding? 2019? You know how long, bro. Crazy, man. And even then, the man had to break through so many curses, so many things. Man's a Raptors curse, boom, 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 game winners. Like, what are y'all like? Nah, trophy.
To be real with you, I think Kawhi is gonna come back at some point. Even if it's when he's like getting older in his career, because this is the thing. Kawhi is never going to be loved in any city as much as he was loved in Toronto. And love is addictive. Yeah. Right?
For a regular man, it's not RoboCop and Terminator.
No, Kawhi, just because he's quiet doesn't mean that he's not affected, bro. Because look at what he did with San Antonio. He didn't like the way that they treated him. He was out. Yeah. Toronto showed him nothing but love. Toronto treated him for the first time
he doesn't want to
like an actual superstar. Now he's in the Clippers. Yeah, and it's like, listen, LA doesn't belong to the Clippers.
Okay? You already know that. It's all Lakers.
Like, that's one of the teams that I don't understand why they haven't moved that team somewhere else, bro. Yeah. Like, move it to a different city, man. Move it to Las Vegas. Like, don't you guys want to have some pride for yourselves? Right? LA belongs to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's where they're going to Inglewood.
Especially after now Kobe died.
Yeah, even heighten.
Bro, no Lakers fan is leaving the Lakers with everything that Kobe has done.
Only if he has an elite player with him, Kawhi. then I'll see him coming back.
No, but even
Lakers
he's
pride,
never.
leaving Laker pride.
No, I'm saying coming back to Toronto. I'm saying Kawhi coming back to Toronto.
Yeah, because Lakers fans now, especially after Kobe died, it's hit us so
jumping,
hard.
yeah.
Those Lakers fans,
even higher.
like they've tattooed the Lakers onto their. Like it doesn't matter how many rings. Listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how many rings the Clippers win. Those fans are not converting. The most that city will ever be is 50-50. And even that is if the Clippers become what the Warriors were.
Yeah.
Okay? So Kawhi, the love that you got over here, you can't get that nowhere. Come home.
Perfect. So we finished that with the NBA. What do y'all think? It's kind of like NBA best player or best team kind of go hand in hand right now as we end and we see how the season's coming. The season's coming back, so we'll finish off with that. The season's coming back. We don't know if they're going to come back fully or not, but let's assume that they are, and let's discuss with this current season right now. Obviously, coronavirus stopped everything, all that type of stuff, but what the way the momentum was and how they were, who do you feel is the top, best player or best team? It doesn't matter. Give and take. Right now, I've been told people already, obviously KD's not playing, but for me, KD 1A, Kawhi 1B, everybody else. That's how I have it. You know what I'm saying? But right now for the teams, I have Clippers. I have them going far, but the coronavirus can suss the chemistry and a lot of that type of stuff. So it's like, it's hard. We haven't seen them in these clutch moments. We don't know if Paul George is going to be like, I want the ball, or Kawhi's going to be like, I want the ball. Lou Wills, I want the ball, right? They have so many scores. Marcus Morris, right? Reggie Jackson. There's so many. I don't know. The Lakers, again, I've never seen LeBron win without a closer. Because 80, I know in those clutch situations, he's going to become K-Love. He's going to have to be on the perimeter and shoot and space out for LeBron. I already know how that goes. That's why all those other game winners he had versus Denver in the clutch, he hit 3 threes finally. So I don't see LeBron is number one with that. Unless Dion Waiters becomes that guy for the Lakers or Kuzma.
I don't even think they're going to give Waiters minutes.
Exactly. So
it's a hard question, man. I think we've never seen such parity in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kawhi.
So
Kawhi,
right? Because the NBA,
New Balance to
the NBA has moved from being a big three league
to duos,
to a duo league, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so because it's duos, more love is being shared around to more teams, right? So to be honest, it's mad close, man. Because
toss up.
Even the teams that are like lower seed playoff teams in the West, I can see upsetting any of the higher teams. Do you see them? Like honestly, right? Like
stars versus stars.
If Denver won the championship, I would not be crazy surprised.
Right.
To be real with you, right? Because like that's the level of the parity, right? But if I was gonna have to choose one team. Which question are we answering first? The team question or the player question?
We'll do the team. Let's do team first.
If I was gonna choose one team, man, I think I would choose the Lakers above the Clippers.
Why? Give me your reason.
Because they've played together more.
Right? How?
They've played together. They've had more of a chance to be able to build chemistry. Whereas the Clippers, they've had a lot of injuries during the year, right?
Okay.
And obviously Kawhi has load management, and they've been dealing with load management as well. So although I think that they're actually the better team, I think that the Clippers are constructed to be a better team. Chemistry is so important that like I'm not gonna give a team that has no chemistry or that still needs to work on their chemistry the same advantage that I'm giving a team that already has their chemistry solidified. Like, I don't even know if the Clippers have... Well, no, I should take that back. I was going to say I don't know if they've solidified, like, their rotations and everything like that.
Solidified. It's just basically it's the roles.
But it's
their role. Like, there's too many dogs on the team.
It's rough, right?
The Lakers are kind of like they have one-dimensional, you know your role, Danny Green, you spot up, Avery Bradley, you do this, LeBron and me and AD, everybody else. Even Kuzma's still struggling, but he knows they kind of established, okay, Kuzma, you get it here and there.
Kuzma's the odd man out.
He's the odd man out, but everybody else is like roll. Everyone has roles. The Clippers is like there's so many dogs. Marcus Morris could go for, he will try and maybe take 10 shots this game. Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Will, right? Reggie Jackson, you added. There's so many.
But so even the Rockets too, like if you really think about it, even the Rockets, like the only reason why we wouldn't ever say the Rockets is because James Harden has been so abysmal in the playoffs, like just for his career.
He's an elite version of DeRozan in the playoffs.
But if it wasn't for the way that he was so bad in the playoffs for his career, like I don't see why you wouldn't say arguably that the Rockets could be the number one.
Well, because of small ball, right? They have small ball, so a lot of people don't believe.
It's been working, bro.
I know. Especially versus the Lakers. That's one of the biggest threats to the Lakers. I've been showing, man, because AD is frail. So PJ Tucker, they just put him on 1-on-1 on AD and he tries to finesse. And PJ Tucker just locking that up. And they just have they just floor space. And Westbrook finally, for the first time in his career, could just run downhill. Yeah. You help, Dime. Like that's so I mean, that's what I'm saying. People are gonna underestimate only if James Harden finally, at least, and he doesn't even have to wake up. They have the perfect balance. He doesn't have to snap. Because if Westbrook, you already know he's going at you. And then it's only if they don't hit threes or not. And the thing is, they don't have to rely on threes because Westbrook will just go downhill. Yeah. So they have the perfect balance. It's just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why for me, I think the best team has a chance to win is the Bucks. Because they're just going to slap everyone.
Yeah. That's what I've been telling people too.
They don't have to go
through one fair was Kawhi. One fair was Kawhi.
There's no death.
Yo, that's true.
There's no nothing.
The only team
and how I've seen them slap teams this year.
That's what I said. No, Philly is a matchup problem for the Bucks. But I don't believe in Embiid and Ben Simmons. I don't believe in those two. You take away Jimmy Butler from the closer. People were sleeping on Miami.
But
Miami, people are sleeping on Miami. I try to tell people, man.
I feel like, because
Butler, Bam out of that lock up.
The problem is that
and Butler closer.
But this is my problem.
Even every time when the Raptors are supposed to run away,
I can't say the Bucks. I can't say the Bucks.
Why not?
Because the Bucks, the main problem with the Bucks is Giannis.
But that's versus Kawhi. It wasn't versus anybody else.
No, man. The main problem with the Bucks is Giannis. If you have time to actually game plan and to get yourself ready, somebody that has that glaring of a weakness, especially as you get higher in the playoffs and the court shrinks and there's less fast break and everything is slowing
you're
down,
right. Play style wise,
like it's gonna be hard for the Bucks, man, just because of Giannis. Like if Giannis is shooting well, or at least is shooting.
That's my next point.
Is shooting respectably.
I think he's gonna break through. I think Giannis
if he's shooting respectably,
I think he's gonna break through.
Then they're unstoppable, right? But I haven't seen enough from Giannis for me to really.
But that's why for me I say he doesn't really have to get to that echelon or level unless it's finals. The whole East will be a cakewalk if he just preserves where he's at.
What about the Heat, though?
That's what I said.
No, if he preserves where he's at.
No, the Heat could lock him up.
No, what about
Bam is nice locking him up and has been his kryptonite. It's been his kryptonite. Guys.
And then when they put Embiid on him, those is just two problems.
I understand that.
Trust me, the Heat.
I understand that.
The Heat could give them a run for their and that's the because
the Heat aren't talking about that. He have a closer,
bro.
And they have shooters. They have Tyler Hero's not afraid of the moment. And you already know all of that.
Yeah, but that's if he's back from injury and everything.
What people aren't taking into consideration, right? When you're asking me who's the best to win it, I'm not thinking about who's the best regular season.
Yeah, playoff matchups.
I'm thinking who's the best postseason, right?
Play style matchup.
The reason why I like Philly in the East is because I always trust bigs in a slower game, right? Bigs that can post score are so useful.
These palms are sweaty though sometimes.
And that's the problem. Right?
Sweaty,
so
bro.
the thing is, the same way that you guys were talking about Giannis, right? Imagine if Giannis breaks through, but at the same time, this is the year that Embiid breaks. If Embiid breaks through, it's over.
It isn't. I don't think it is.
It is.
It is.
Embiid breaks through and Tobias at least does somewhat of a closing.
See, that's a lot. And then what? Ben Simmons got to do a little one too.
I don't believe.
There's too much. They don't have no shooting.
Let me show you my perspective.
They need JJ. They should have never let JJ
go. And Butler. But my perspective is
JJ and Embiid's pick and roll play that they always did off ball was legendary.
And they even took Ben Simmons off ball, especially versus Raptors, and put Butler to ball handle in the clutch and him run pick and roll with Embiid while Redick is curling. But my point is, I'm looking at mentality with who I believe is going to break through, especially through the clutch. Embiid, him crying and him doing all this type of stuff, I don't know if he's actually going to break through. It could not. But I've seen too many moments of him where his palms are sweaty, turnover, sussing in the clutch. Same with Ben Simmons. That's why I'm like, those two I don't believe. Only way I believe in Philly is if Tobias Harris, who has shown times to close, gets to that level. But how can I rely on that? But on the flip side, Giannis, this season has showed me, I've seen him, even versus in clutch situations. That's the thing is, Pascal and Giannis are the same players. Pascal will play elite, do all these elite moves. Once he's an elite defender, he shies away. He does the DeRozan shit. I'm not even going to do my elite moves anymore. Even you're giving me a shot, I'm not even going to shoot that. No, I'm not confident. Just trying to force paint is not there. Shoot atrocious percentage. So he becomes less of a player than what he is because of an elite defender. Giannis, this year, 80s on him. He's still pulling threes. I'm seeing him do shimmies in the mid-range, trying in the clutch. I see him advancing this game, and he's been shooting a better percentage, and he's been actually showing me clutch takes. So I'm like, okay, this is a guy that Kobe challenged him to be MVP, got MVP. He just had his first exposed to Kawhi to a Don. And the way he got
the MVP.
Yeah, MVP last year. You got the regular season MVP. Remember, Kobe challenged him. I challenge you, Giannis, to get better and get MVP. The next season, he gets MVP. Goes to work out with Kobe. Like, Giannis has that mentality. I'm not training with nobody. Yeah. He has that confidence, that extreme high confidence. When he lost, he didn't cry. He was cheesed. That to me, I see Kobe eyes. I see Westbrook. I see those guys. It's like, nah, I'm coming with a vengeance. He came back this season snapping. So for me, the one player that I think that could break out this year, especially with no Kawhi, no person he's fearing.
Nobody.
No LeBron, no Kawhi, none of that. Is that to me, I see Giannis. If Giannis just breaks through even a little bit, that team has so much elite shooters.
Yeah, but I just feel like
with his weakness, they went to the conference finals with his weakness. Everyone else you're mentioning has never been that far.
Good coaching.
And elite coaching too.
Even with good coaching, he went to the conference finals. That's what I'm saying. Team, but even with that,
so for me, coaching, like the Heat, especially, man,
that's their one kryptonite.
The Heat with Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, the Heat is a problem. The Heat is a problem.
Hero.
Yeah, the Heat is a problem.
Jimmy, like y'all, like even when I look at Boston too.
Boston.
I do not believe in Boston.
Their interior defense,
and I think their coach is the most overrated man of all time.
But this is the thing, right? Because of the level of the parity right now, it's hard to say.
No,
it's really hard to say
which is
the best.
How far you think the Raptors are going to go? That's been a lot of conversation, especially with these guys, the Raptors fans, my fans. How far do you think they're going to go?
Who's the 8th and 7th seed right now?
8th seed is right now is 8th seed is the Magic, 7th seed is the Nets. That's what we have right now. Let's go and look.
All right, so the Raptors are definitely going to the second round.
Yeah. I think Raptors will be done in the conference finals. I think they
can conference. You think they're going that far?
I think they can make conference.
Hold on, let's bring up this. Let's bring it up right now.
The East is silly putty. Right
Look, right now we got Milwaukee. So first round will be Milwaukee. If it was 10 today, Milwaukee, Orlando in the first round, Raptors. And the Nets, obviously, we think they're going to beat the Nets. So the second round, they're facing either the Celtics or the 76ers in the second round.
I think both the Celtics
you think they're going to beat Boston
are going to beat Raptors.
Well, okay.
You think they're both going to beat Raptors?
Let me take this. Let me take.
I think either the Celtics or the 76ers. Because the problem is with the Raptors is the Raptors no longer instill any fear in anybody.
Yeah. But nobody respects that team. But I will have to say they have shown championship pedigree.
No,
but that's with Kawhi on the floor.
No, they don't.
No, this year I think they've shown.
They play good every season.
No, they don't.
But even without Kawhi, not to this level.
What do you mean not to this level?
These guys have been playing.
But what has been happening of late?
Even with the 15 straight win games, that's no joke.
Because it doesn't matter. It does matter, but again, it doesn't matter. They have that championship pedigree. I understand what you're saying, but that championship pedigree in the regular season has heightened them. But in the
playoffs is different.
The one thing I would say,
look what has happened.
If it was standard playoffs, where everyone doesn't realize the outside here, like the actual
fans,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's a good point.
People don't realize outside here, they don't realize if it was what it was,
no fear.
Bro. That Raptors coming to Toronto, is no easy task. Every man says that. It's no easy task.
But you know what? When you mention that, it might be even more wide open than what we're thinking.
That's what I'm saying. That's why now it's more wide open.
Everyone's home.
There's a bunch of guys, and this goes back to what we were talking about before about pressure.
If your girl's
there's a
over
bunch
there
of guys
that
I'm telling you, if you were to play with them in a pickup,
different
work.
You would see a completely different human being. Yeah. This thing being simulated more like a pickup game, we're going to see stars rise that weren't considered stars before. Right? So, and especially when I look at, as a matter of fact, even the Nets, and that's why I said I think that the Raptors are going to win in 6. Because my thing is with the Nets, is that the Nets are that team that you sleep on. Because they don't have that guy, right? Yeah, because obviously Kyrie and Katie are injured. Yeah. But the Nets are still that team.
Dinwiddie, Glover.
Okay. They can hoop now. Yeah. They can hoop, and they have Jarrett Allen. Yeah. Yo, they can hoop now.
DeAndre's still there, but even
don't sleep.
Jarrett Allen slipped back this year.
Yeah. Don't think
he's not doing this.
Don't think that Pascal is just gonna come into the Nets. And he's just going to have his way. Now, don't think that.
But the thing is, the Nets plays into Raptors' hand.
Yeah. 100%. And they don't have good defense. Yeah. But the second round.
Defense is so
The second round, if they face the Celtics or 76, if they face 76ers, to me, it'll be a struggle because that's Pascal's nightmare is any big with length, right? And B just guards him and sags off and makes him shoot all day. You know, his palms are sweaty when he has to shoot. So I feel like they'll struggle. They might go 7 games with the Sixers. The Celtics now is either this or this way. So Pascal does decent and does pretty good versus Celtics. They have no big. Their big is who's going to guard him is Tatum or Gordon Hayward. You know what I'm saying? He has the length on them, right? Mm-hmm. Not really on Tatum, but Tatum has good defense, but it's not like he's locking up. Exactly. He's not going to lock him up. OD.
Does not have
He's not gonna lock him up. OD. Yeah, now Tatum, on the other hand, has turned into this elite guy. If he becomes this elite guy with Kemba, their offensive firepower might be able to sustain whatever the Raptors are doing.
What I'm saying.
So that's for me is gonna be again a 6-7 games, which I think the Raptors may win. So again, now if you look at that, they could go to the conference finals. To me, it's not guaranteed.
I don't think it's guaranteed, but I think that's.
But again, if Miami's 41-24, Boston's 43-21. If Miami gets the 3rd seed, it's a wrap. Second round, if Miami and Raptors face, it's a wrap for Raptors. Bam locks up. They haven't even beat the Raptors this year. Bam locks up. Butler locks up. All their pinch guards doing that Van Fleet stuff, they all lock up. Butler locks that shit up. Butler doesn't even need to guard
dribble handoff. Jesus,
all they do is dribble drive,
dribble drive, kick off, handoff. Here,
pump fake. That's all they do. Baka pump fake. That's what
to the elbow handoff. Yeah,
you just dribble hand. They don't have. They're gonna force you to ice. So that's my problem with the Raptors. Like the Raptors have never won in 5 games until Kawhi came, and even then they lost the first game because Lowry sussed. Garden Augustine. They've never won in 5 games. They've always struggled because they have no ISO bucket getter.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they don't understand. The clutch, you need
that because when the play breaks down, right?
Who's getting
when the play breaks down, and you know you couldn't get anybody open, right? Mm-hmm. So you couldn't get a good shot.
Exactly.
This is why you have a superstar on the team. Mm-hmm. You couldn't get a good shot. You just have that guy you can give the ball, and he can just get you a bucket for no reason, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what situation he's in. It doesn't matter if he's on the baseline, if he's at the top, if he's in the corner. If you get him the ball, he will get you a bucket. Okay, exactly. That's what you call a superstar. Okay, that's what you call a max contract player, right? Most players, you can't just give them the ball in any situation and expect them to get a bucket, right? I can't just give the ball to DeMari Carroll and just be like, and just tell him, get me a bucket, right? Because that's not his game. That's not his game. Do you see what I'm saying? There's some players that can do it sometimes, and then there's some players who can do it all day, every day, twice on Sunday, right? James Harden is one of those guys who has much, and you know what? Honestly, I hate the way that the media talks about James Harden.
Yeah, y'all are so disrespectful. They disrespect him. The man dropped 40s.
One of the greatest players that we've ever seen put on a jersey.
You're disrespecting.
Okay? This man is doing things I've never seen before in my life. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like, when it comes to getting buckets, bro,
I'm telling you,
James Harden is different.
50-point
He's the only thing you can say about James Harden is playoffs. But don't talk about dribble. I don't want to hear that.
Right?
They're winning. Like, what are we talking about? But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, so again, we said who has the best chance to win a championship. I said Bucks. You said Lakers. And you said...
Best chance of winning a championship?
Yeah, this year. COVID chip. Who has the best? Who has a chance to win the COVID?
I got Bucks in the East. Bucks or Miami in the East. Okay.
For me, I think it's a free for all.
It is free for all. I got Bucks or Miami in the East
to win the COVID chip,
and I got Bucks or Miami in the East. I don't have Lakers going to the finals if they get the Clippers. If they don't get the Clippers, they can go to the finals.
Matter of fact,
it's hard, man. It's hard.
Matter of fact, I think this is the year that somebody's gonna win that nobody thought was gonna win.
I get that.
Honestly, I think this is the year,
especially with the schedule. The schedule
that somebody's gonna win who nobody was predicting or seeing.
You have Utah. Utah's even top 4.
The turnaround of games. I think
especially Denver.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Denver.
My word. Denver and Miami are my 2 teams that I'm saying
with the dehydrated Joker, that man lost so much weight.
Those teams, bro. I don't really believe in Utah.
Right? No, I don't believe in Utah.
Even
Portland is so.
Portland.
Bogdanovich is out, right? He's done for the season, right? Bogdanovich, I think.
Probably. Yeah, but Portland Trailblazers, if they come back. I remember how nice they were with Nurkic, bro.
Yeah, but they don't play
when they had Nurkic.
No, they played D with Nurkic. And
when they had Nurkic, they were nasty. Different. And they have Melo now too.
Yeah, and they have Zach Collins who plays D, and he was there.
The main thing that I see here is that so many teams live off home court advantage that are not gonna have it.
That's the thing. Some teams might get swept real quick. You might not even know. Because it's an even playing field.
Because people didn't realize that Toronto, players know. That Toronto's top 5, Toronto's top 5 of home court advantage, especially with the nightlife. All these men be out here.
I can almost guarantee that LeBron
is gonna thrive in this
with no crowd is gonna be an absolute animal, bro. He's gonna be unstoppable.
It's gonna be like LeBron, basically.
He's gonna be
shimmies. He's gonna do no pressure. Free throws. He's gonna make all his clutch free throws.
It's actually gonna be what LeBron is gonna do.
He's gonna make everything
with absolutely no crowd there and just a pickup run is going to be retarded. It's not gonna make any sense.
That's the thing too. Yeah, that's a different echelon. That's the thing.
What he's gonna do without having to have people cheering
But then again, that's another. Now the devil's advocate for that is a lot of these role players that get nervous. They only play good at home.
Dog, and that's what I'm saying. And they don't play good at the role. We don't know. You don't know. We're gonna see people rise up.
Yeah, all the Van Fleets, all these guys. Well, Van Fleet, I don't put him on role player level, even though he is.
Bro, people are gonna be snapping. I know. For instance, Kuzma is gonna go ballistic.
Danny Green will hit every 3 now.
That's what I'm saying, because even before, when it was, there's certain players that they love being on the road.
Yeah,
they love silencing the crowd. When the crowd is dead and they're just hitting threes.
Yeah, now
that's not feeling for that.
It's gone. Dead. Some players ride off that, like the Butlers, the league guys ride off that.
Then you see men that their palms are sweaty now that the crowd is roaring, the momentum is swinging.
Yeah.
Bro, those 27 to 15 runs don't happen without crowds, bro.
Facts.
Because now you're just looking up and they're only up by 5?
No, they happen.
No, because now you're going to just look up and you're going to be like, they're up by 5?
I mean, the impact of
they happen.
A man getting dunked on does not feel the same.
But they happen with mean teams, right? They happen with mean teams. They happen with the teams that have guys
on the bench that are in your face,
in your mouth, that are just, oh Lord.
Yeah.
Men that are just in your face, talking trash about you the whole time, and now they just went on a 12-0 run on you, and you don't have fans to bring you back, and everybody's hearing what they're saying about you and to you.
That's what I'm saying. But there's a very small level of those dogs still in the NBA. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying Miami.
Yeah, because Miami, Jimmy Butler's ready to kill any man.
Yeah, he's ready. Anyways, it's True Talks. Cause True Talks. You already know I appreciate y'all. We're ending it off now. It's the first podcast episode. You already know. Long one. Most of what you guys are ever used to. We have guests on here, so we had to go through a whole list of topics. Kind of just, get each other's, IQ. That's what I do, basically. And, just understand what's going on here. You already know this is what Elite looks like. So, again, just give us some feedback. Give us some comments. If you liked it, if you listened to it again, you can listen to it on all the platforms, all podcast platforms. Also, watch this on YouTube. And we hope that you enjoyed everything. You already know my boy, Daniel, came on. My brother to the far left, Noah, came on. And basically, we just went ham. So, comment in the comment section if you actually liked it, if you want to see them more often, if you rated them, if you had some laughs, whatever it was. Give your ratings out there, just comment in there. You already know what it is. We do our thing. That's not the dap. What are you doing?
I just wanted to say, check me up on YouTube.
Okay.
Weekly Words of Worship.
All right.
Check me out.
All right. We do our proper dap. You already know.
And Ting, slide in my DMs.
You already know. That's how we do. We end it off nice. Again, it's True Talks. Because True Talks, you already know, man. And we out.
Hey, what is it?
The link will be in the description.
Well, you don't ever watch it?
I do.
He does. He just weekly words of worship. I just feel like Link again.
Weekly Words of Worship. What's wrong with you? Why are you disrespectful? Okay. I'm going to save on. Listen.
Save on.
All right, man.
I'm a savage.
What's wrong with this thing?
Bougie, greasy, plastic. Something happened, plastic. Shit!
This is all coming on. I'm putting this on YouTube.
What's poppin', man?
Oh, we already recording?
No. Well, it's recording, yeah, but we didn't start.
So yes, let's start, man. Give the thunder
Can you turn
clap,
off your
bro. I need my. So I can't use my phone for stats.
That's not no
stat. You
stat.
can do whatever.
Pikachu ain't no stat.
You can text. You can do whatever you want to do.
Man says stats.
Okay, so
you're trying to
hella
power level on
chill.
Pikachu.
Yeah, it's just chilling. You're chilling. It's not professional. Like you're chilling.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
Try to make contact with the camera. Eye contact.
Yeah, not the screen, the camera.
I know.
So you want to look at the lens.
Listen, I'm a professional.
You should probably move a bit.
Yeah, why are you leaning towards me, bro?
Because we're both equal distance.
You're good. Yeah, you're right.
No homo. We're in the same mic.
They're gonna fire me. They're gonna fire me for sure.
Pause. Why we gotta have this big mic?
No, it's 11:47, fam.
11. It's 11 o'clock. Not on my
drop top, cruising the streets.
Putting this all on.
I got a real.
All these niggas, man. You want to give us a timer?
Yeah.
Can you go downstairs quick and get the iPad? No, so we can see it. I'll put it there.
You're wasting the camera's battery.
Touch it down in your country like I'm a tourist. Bangers on my Spotify, I ain't even touring. With these gifts that God give me, I'm just trying to flourish. With these gifts that God give me.